Okay.
We from Phila period. PA period. They hearing
Go
it.
ahead.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you wanted to do the.
Good morning, Vietnam. Nah, I'm just kidding. LOL, JK. Good evening. This is another episode of the Santa Booed First podcast coming to you live from the beautiful downtown Willow Grove in the fresh to death, marvelous, wonderful Cracked Bell Production Studios. This wonderful, beautiful, breathtaking voice you hear right now is none other than the Don DJ. Good evening. Jim Marcus is not here with us right now. He's at home. He's taking a week off. He's cooking dinner. Maybe we'll see him
Every
on
week
the,
with this guy.
on the well. Maybe we'll see him on the live feed coming up after he's done dinner. Stay tuned if you want to see his beautiful face. But let me go around the room here. First, let me start off behind the glass. We got Bob. Bob, how we doing?
Pretty good. Hey, I have to give some props to Andrew here.
Why is that?
Yeah, he was the only one out of everyone who took the Rams
And the Browns.
and the Browns.
Yep.
You got to start off with that. Really?
I really have to because he gets a lot of flack. I'm starting to ride the bandwagon here. I am.
Maybe he's the big brains of the organization.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I think we have a sleeper in our
Yep.
in our midst.
Yeah. Take his bets and take him to the bank for
That-
the first million, right?
You Saturday I'm going to the casino. You So, hey, take it how you know. I'm giving you props, man.
All right. Andrew gets his props.
That's enough. He said that's enough of that.
So, Andrew, how we doing after that?
So
There it is. What's up? As always. And last, but
This
hey,
one-
it's
this one
certainly
will be
not
good.
least, the old man, our old man, Dad, Deke. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm
All
very
right.
excited to host my first episode.
Okay. Are you bucking for a promotion or something at
Hey,
CBC with that
I
introduction of the studio?
I am a fresh college grad. I will take any jobs that are there. If anybody's listening, I'm here. All right. Let's get right into it. Oh, we got to do our sponsors. I'm
Yes.
lacking. See, my
Jeez.
first slip up. It's all right. It's all right. Let's thank our sponsors. We got Pops McCann, as always. Pops McCann Irish whiskey, powered by Pops, as Jim says. And then we also have MPM Agency, Matt Maloney,
InsurePhilly.com.
InsurePhilly.com. 10 quotes in 10 minutes.
Yep. 10 quotes in about 10 minutes.
There you go.
He's got you covered.
He's got you covered.
Matt Maloney.
All right, now that's out of the way. Let's get into it.
Man.
We got
Right.
the
Jesus, man.
what? They got it right.
I guess.
A for effort.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Eagles. We're an Eagles podcast. There's a lot to talk about this week with sports. Sixers and Flyers are back. Phillies are coming up soon. But we got to go with the Eagles right off the bat.
Yeah.
Doug gone. We surprised? How do we feel? Reactions.
I'm a little surprised. I was good with giving him one more year to try and right the ship. You know, usually winning a Super Bowl guarantees you 5 years of employment, close to it, and he got close to it. I really think, and I've been saying this all along, I think the issues with Carson are mental with him, and also the coaching. He never got, after Reich and DiFilippo left, I don't think he got the proper coaching. It's reminiscent of Randall Cunningham when Doug Scoville passed away. He was his quarterback's coach here for the first, I think, 2 years that Randall was here, and then he ended up passing away. And as exciting and as talented and fascinating to watch as Randall was. He I don't want to say he leveled off, but he never really seemed to progress past a certain point. Maybe I guess that is leveling off. And I kind of see that with Carson. And I wish DiFilippo was available. Why can't they bring him back? There obviously was something going on with those two that was
No,
good combination.
I think DiFilippo's in Chicago.
Oh, he's got hired now.
I think he's been with
Okay.
the Bears. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Press Taylor and he are very tight apparently, so it's going to be hard to pry him out of here. Maybe Carson's going to have to be gone first before that happens. I was, it was going to be either Doug or Carson, and it ended up being Doug.
You see, I think he earned another year. I mean, I think a lot of
I
people,
do too.
I think a majority of the fan base were shocked, quite frankly. Just because, this was such a shitty year. Like, no matter how you looked at it, it wasn't just Doug or Carson. It was a whole unit. It was the whole organization, the whole team. It just wasn't their year, clearly. 4-11-1. It's got to be, the worst season in the last, how many years? 15 years?
The end of Andy's era. I think
we got more than 4 wins, though, didn't we? When he got fired. Look,
I think the last one of the last years of Andy, it might have been it was definitely single digit wins, obviously. And I think it was below 7 wins.
Look, when you finish last in the worst division in the history of football, it's more than just your head coach. Okay? We can't just point the finger at Doug. And unfortunately, Doug was a scapegoat in the front office's eyes. So he's the one that gets the boot. But I think Laurie and Howie are the biggest to blame. I think Laurie is just, I don't understand his fascination with Howie and why he keeps him around. I really don't. First, the Joe Banner situation.
They're butt buddies.
Well, I won't say that, but the Joe Banner situation. He kicks Joe Banner out, keeps Howie, and now, even with the Chip Kelly thing, yeah, he gave Chip Kelly full reins, but Chip deserved to go too. But he gave Chip the boot as well, even though when it could have been the whole front office as well. And now with Doug, I think Laurie needs to look in the mirror and see what he can do himself to make the team better. And, in that press conference, he didn't address it at all. He just beat around the bush, walked in circles, as you said on the way up here, didn't really give straight answers at all. And it was not encouraging as a fan to hear the owner of your favorite franchise not really have an answer for what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at some of these guys that they've reached out to be the next head coach. I mean, I saw today, I think it was Rappaport or Schefter tweeted out that they're requesting to interview Kellen Moore, the Cowboys offense.
Yeah.
Why in the hell would we want Kellen Moore? What has he done down there, aside from maybe because Dak looks good before the injury, of course? But what has he done down there with that offense to make you think that he's capable of being a head coach?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see
tell
it.
you. I want to know.
Sure.
You look at some of these candidates and they just want someone who is going to come in there and coach. That's all they want. They don't want anyone who's going to dabble in player personnel decisions, drafting. They don't want any of that. They want someone, I guess a yes man is what it was. And this is something that Doug Peterson got tired of.
Right.
So they're going to hire someone again, and the same thing's going to happen in 3 years. Watch.
To your point, Bob, they don't want a guy that's messing with personnel. And I've been hearing some pretty crazy things lately. Reports on the relationship between Doug and Carson, Doug and Jeff. And from what I've heard, Doug wanted to go with Jalen.
Yeah.
Jeff wants to go with Carson.
That was a Troy Aikman
for the money. Yeah.
That was a Troy
because
Aikman
of the
report.
money deal, which is understandable, but not necessarily the best.
Is that the
way to
best
go
move
about it.
for
Right.
your
It's-
team?
It's not the best.
Right.
What gives your team the best chance to win? And when you get an owner that is that meddlesome, where he's determining who the starting quarterback is, that's too much of a hands-on owner. I also heard yesterday on the radio that, or it might have been today, that Howie was telling Doug Peterson who to dress on game day and who
That-
not to dress.
That
on
came
game
out
day.
early in the season,
That's
and
what
nobody wanted
frustrates
to
me.
believe it.
That
That
is-
scares me too.
That is unbelievable. I've never heard a GM having that much sway on a team. You know, your number one job as a GM is to find talent and to procure that talent.
Right.
It's not telling the coach who's got to coach the team who you're playing.
Yeah, your GM doesn't make the personnel calls.
No.
That can't happen.
And I don't know, you know, I'm not in the offices, I'm not in the locker rooms, but I'd be willing to bet a large chunk of money that Jeff Lurie was dictating Peters needed to play.
When Lurie said that he had no decision making on the quarterbacks, that's BS.
Mm.
He absolutely knew 100% what that whole situation was, what Doug wanted to do, and what he was going to do. He knew all about that. When he said, I had no input on that decision. Yes, you did, dude. It's your team.
Yeah.
You should have an input on that. If you say you don't, then what are you doing?
Right.
Like, it's your team. You own the team. You should be able to have a say in that.
But that's what they're looking for again. And,
Right.
And I feel like in 3 years, because look, at some point, you're gonna have to, let your head coach of your football team in on some of those decisions.
Make his own decisions.
And you also have Ryan Smitty checking in here. He's saying that Kellen Moore had the number one offense. He put defense, but he had offense
yeah.
when they were all
I knew
healthy
he
in
meant
Dallas.
offense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sure, we can say Kellen Moore, but there's some other, interviews that they're still going through. They got Joe Brady, who's the offensive coordinator with the Panthers, who made their offense look good. I mean, Christian McCaffrey's a stud. He kind of, I wouldn't say resurrected, but he brought Teddy Bridgewater in and gave him a shot. Looked okay.
Teddy had a nice streak was it last year or the year before?
With the Saints or the
When
Panthers? With the Saints, yeah, he went undefeated.
Yeah.
We got Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator of the Niners, who would be interesting because when's the last time the Eagles had a defensive head coach?
I think that would also solve the issue too, where you wouldn't have a power struggle with an offensive coach and an offensive coordinator.
That's
Right,
why I think
right.
this makes it interesting if they bring in a
Mhm.
defensive-minded. Because when's the last time? What, Buddy Ryan?
No, Ray Rhodes.
Okay, Ray Rhodes.
Yeah, he was I think he was the last defensive the last defensive head
That's
coach
what
they've
interests
had.
me because I would be okay with Rob Saleh. I mean, he made that Niners defense look top 10. Last year they were dominant. So that interests me. Eric Bieniemy, of course, has been thrown out there a ton. The offensive coordinator of the Chiefs seems like a no-brainer for any team.
We have breaking news here on Santa
I'm
Boot
like,
First.
what
Yeah,
am I
what if
hearing?
I was wondering what that? I was just thought it was a
It's
cell
a sound
phone.
effect.
Okay, I like it.
It's
What
a
is
What do
it?
you got?
So this isn't Eagles related, but I
Uh-oh.
figured we break it here on Santa Boot First.
Absolutely.
Not a huge one, not a huge deal, but it's nonetheless breaking. Reliever Archie Bradley agrees to a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Phillies.
Okay. I just saw that too. Yeah, that's not a bad move. I mean, he's a good reliever, and he's a setup man, and he can be a closer.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, I'm sorry. Back.
Oh,
That's
that's
all right.
okay.
We're getting to the Phils
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe we start setting up roles here, like on the show, because we have Andrew, right?
Mhm.
I feel like we should use him better
The betting.
instead of what's up. Maybe he can be our breaking news guy or our score update guy, like an Adel Yaganoff.
I don't know, man. I think he's earned more rights after last week's performance.
His wisdom
more
needs to be
airtime.
heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, getting back to the head coaching talks. We said Eric Bieniemy, of course, seems like a no-brainer anywhere. I think he doesn't want to come. I mean, if you're a head coach looking to be a head coach, though, what makes you want to come here? Especially if you're a guy like Eric Bieniemy, who's getting asked by every team besides the Jags, who just got Urban Meyer. if you're a guy that wants to become a head coach, what makes you want to come here? Like if you're a guy like Lincoln Riley, who they've talked
Right.
about, or Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State, you guys have it set up there. Why would you want to go to
Yeah,
the NFL and
I
a dumpster fire organization right
I
now?
don't want somebody telling me how to coach the team, who to play,
Right.
who
And
to
that's
dress.
what the Doug problem was, I think.
especially guys like Jeff and Howie who have zero background in football.
Mhm.
You know, Jeff was a movie producer when he bought the
Yeah.
team. Howie's a bean man. He's got no experience. You know, if it's somebody like John Elway
Right.
or the guy from oh my God, Ozzie Newsome, if they're telling me, okay, I'm going to listen to them because they're both in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And they were the great players. And you know, Ozzie Newsome has got to be in the top 3 GMs of all time. When you look at the teams he's put out on the field, with he started with the Cleveland Browns, but when they moved to Baltimore, man, he really put together some dynamite teams in Baltimore. And John Lynch or John Elway, he hasn't had the best luck yet in although I think he was running the show when Denver won those 2 Super Bowls.
Who,
back
John
in the
Elway?
Yeah, back in the 90s.
Elway, no, he only won one with the
He was
with Peyton.
I'm sorry, he was
a quarterback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the quarterback.
Well, I see we got Jim checking in here
Jim is
on the
on
live.
the live
Jimmy.
feed.
Can he talk?
So am I hearing, Deke, am I hearing
Yeah, it
that
looks like,
Let us know you're there.
you don't have
looks
utmost
like- I don't know if he has
in Howie?
his.
He's got earphones on.
Yeah.
I can't hear him.
Hold on here.
It's just telling me
All right,
nobody can see and hear.
While Bob and Jim are figuring it out,
Yeah.
we'll continue.
Hold on. a
Can
second.
you hear me now, boy?
Deuce Staley. How do we feel? I would be totally fine with that too. He's a guy that's been here for
Yes,
years.
He's definitely made his bones. He's been passed over twice already. If I'm Deuce Staley, I mean, they appeased him by making him co-head coach, assistant head coach, whatever it was. They gave him a bump in salary, which, you know, smooths over a lot of rough edges.
Yeah, but they didn't give him the title that he should have gotten.
Right.
Offensive coordinator.
Well, yeah, yeah. And if I'm Deuce Staley and I get passed over again 3 times, I think I got to say, you know what? Let me go.
Yeah, and if you're Deuce Staley on your resume and in your talks with the Jeff and Howie, you tell them, look at the running backs I've made it here as a running back. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, Boston Scott, that guy should not be what he is, but Deuce, made him what he is.
Watch it.
Miles Sanders is a stud, but I think his game is elevated because of Deuce as his coach. You have guys like
Corey Clement.
Corey
had a couple
Clement.
Years. He had a great Super Bowl.
Wendell Smallwood. Come on, he got him a contract for Washington.
Yeah.
Jim, can you hear me? No.
I can.
Or he can hear us, right?
I don't think we can.
Oh yeah, he said he can hear us.
We
did?
can't hear him.
Yeah.
That's weird. It says, "Can you unmute your mic on your laptop?" Is it something with that maybe?
I don't think he took technology classes at North
Or Penn State.
Or
yeah,
Penn State. Yeah.
he's repping his North. He's got the shirt on.
Of course, he's got to throw that in there. Great, but we can't hear you, dude.
Sign language. You're typing the chat or something.
Hang tight. Let me see.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get back
He
to
can hear us because
Yeah.
he just gave us one of the
another name out there is Mike Kafka, which is
Yeah.
interesting. The
Yeah.
quarterback's coach for the Chiefs.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think I want to take that chance either. And I think I just saw he got a job offer with Hawaii to become the head coach there. I don't know how long ago that was, but I thought he got a job offer there too. But here's one that kind of surprised me too. Todd Bowles.
Mhm.
Do we want to risk that?
He was the coach of the Jets.
Jets,
was it?
and they were
They
terrible.
were terrible. Yeah.
But he's made the
he's
Buck.
a
He's a good.
defensive-
He's a good defensive
defensive-minded coach.
coordinator
Yeah.
with the Bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, they look good.
Yeah.
But as a head coach, he's not very good.
No, well, he only had the one shot, right?
Yeah, but he coached there for how many
was-
years?
it was a
4 or
number of
5 years,
years.
3
Yeah.
years. I don't know if I give him the chance.
That there are
His head
some
coaching resume doesn't impress
No.
me.
and there are some guys who are just
Bad situation.
designated to be a coordinator.
yeah.
They're not. They're for whatever reason, they're just not quite head coach material. Maybe Todd Bowles is one of those guys. I don't know.
I mean, his head coaching resume doesn't impress me, but
No.
he does have that experience, and maybe that's what they like about it. So that's why they give him a
But
chance.
you know,
Who knows?
Look at Belichick.
Yeah.
He had one decent year in Cleveland. They made the playoffs, and then he stunk up the joint.
Yeah, but they got Tom Brady too. And you look at it now.
Yes. and then he moves on to New England.
Yeah.
And they were doing well with Drew Bledsoe before
Yeah.
Tom Brady came.
They went
came
to the
in.
Super Bowl, right?
With Drew.
Didn't Brady come in that game because Bledsoe got hurt or something like that?
No, that was during the regular season.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was before my viewing days.
I don't know if Drew Bledsoe took New England to a Super Bowl or not. I want to say no.
Yeah.
But they were a solid team. They were making the playoffs with Drew Bledsoe. And
What if
then-
he never got hurt?
That's a great question. And
Brady still would have took over. Eventually, you move on from a guy.
Depends on how old Drew Bledsoe was at the time.
Ryan Smitty, he just commented Dry Mayo, and that's a newer name that just came up, which surprised me too, because he's I think he's a linebacking coach, linebackers coach, I believe,
Okay.
with the Patriots. I could be wrong, but that's surprising too. Yes, but here's another one that I'm
Sorry to bother you, man. Hey, if
I'm
you want,
really
I'll give
intrigued
you the
by,
number. You can call in,
Brian
you can go
Dable.
live and it will, like,
Who?
Brian Dable or
Oh,
Dal-
from Buffalo.
Buffalo.
That's
the
my
offense.
man.
I like him too because he's turned that offense completely around. Josh Allen is an
Yeah, he said
MVP
it's not gonna work
candidate.
because it only
Stephon
works
Diggs is playing at an all-time level. There you go. You got. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting name to me. I would like to see him.
What Josh Allen, I don't know what kind of accolades he was getting coming into the his rookie year coming into the league. And I don't know what his pedigree was coming into
Well, he
the
was
league,
a quarterback, so they always
but
have
nothing spectacular.
no first
right?
round talent, but
Yeah.
not this. I don't know if the expectations were very high.
Right.
Yeah.
And early on in their careers, people were comparing Carson with him.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying, "What are you
Who?
kidding me? Carson all the
Carson
way.
and Josh Allen.
Carson all the way. Carson all the way." And you
Not
know,
anymore.
Not anymore. In the last 2 years, not anymore.
Maybe that's what Brian Dable says.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
in his
He can come
interviews,
here and
look,
maybe
look what I did with
develop
Josh
him.
Allen.
Yes.
I would look. There's three guys here that I would want to see: Brian Dable, Deuce Staley, and Robert Saleh. Those are my top three candidates that I would want to see that they have to choose from. These other guys, Eric Bieniemy, I don't think comes here. I think he's too valued right now, and I think he goes to a better situation. I think he goes somewhere like the Chargers or maybe the Jets.
I thought Doug was going to the Jets.
Doug's talking about taking a year off. That's the new report on him.
Really?
Yeah,
So him and Shorts are going to hang out on a beach
Maybe.
somewhere and drink beers?
maybe. Who knows? That's another point. You got other coaches leaving. Jim Schwartz retires.
Mhm.
Jeff Stoutland goes back to Bama.
Yeah.
Now you got other.
What's his
I think
role
offensive
there?
coordinator.
Okay.
Who?
Jeff Stoutland.
O-line.
No, he was an O-line coach
He's
here.
an O-line
He
here.
started off as an
He's not
offensive
gonna go
line
to college
coach.
to be an O-line
He
coach.
started off as an offensive line coach at Bama, but now I think
I
he's
thought there
going
was someone else going there.
to Bama.
Yeah.
No, not from the Eagles.
No, but they're from the NFL.
Oh, maybe.
Could be.
But yeah, you have other guys leaving now. Jim Schwartz and Jeff Stoutland. Jim Schwartz. People think he should have been fired a long time ago. I'm one of those people that thinks he should have been fired.
Same.
Right. I think we can all agree on that.
It's the same defense every year.
Yes, his scheme did not work. Sure, he made them play up for some games and they look good, but then the next week they're flat. So Jim Schwartz is gone. Jeff Stoutland's gone. Now you got two huge coaching roles to fill, especially defensive coordinator is always important.
Yeah.
But this offensive line is in shambles. You got guys injured. You have possible
They're old.
people retiring with Jason Kelsey.
They're
They're older. You need to fill this role with a good coach.
Wow. Joe White's reporting that Bill O'Brien is the new OC at Bama.
That's what I
So
was
okay, yeah, you're
thinking.
right. So what's Stalin going back his offensive line?
Can't
coach?
be. Can't be.
Him and
Why-
Saban
why
are
would you
boys.
go-
That's where he started. Him and
yeah,
Saban
but
are
why
boys.
would you go to college for the same position?
I don't know.
I'm sure he's not getting more money.
John Fair says Mike Ditka as defensive coordinator or what? I mean,
where did he say that?
right after Joe said Bill O'Brien.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really done my research on candidates for defensive coordinator or offensive line coach. Maybe they promote from within. I don't know who's really out there. There's always talks of Rex Ryan coming back, which
No.
Rob Ryan.
No.
It's interesting though.
Deke Martin.
It brings some entertainment to this team at
Oh, yeah.
least. One of
that's
those,
just
yeah.
Quentin
Seth-
Tarantino thing going on with the feet.
Seth
Yeah.
Joyner.
Seth Joyner has been thrown out there, but does he really want to coach? I think he likes where
I
he's
would
at.
love to see Seth Joyner.
A
come
lot
in
of
as
people would.
defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but do you like Seth Joyner because of how he tells it like it is, or is he an actual? Would he be an actual good?
I think he would be an actual.
Can he
good
be the
coach.
X's and O's
Yeah,
guy?
yeah.
Okay.
And he
Listen
could
to
tell
him.
you how it is.
Yeah,
Listen to him.
He could tell you how it is.
but does he
though.
know how to scheme? Does he know how to game plan? You know all that.
Yeah.
Sure, you
Yeah.
can do that as a player, but it's different as a coach.
Maybe not as a defensive coordinator.
That's what
right
I'm thi-
away, but you just kind of you kind of give him into. I wouldn't be happy
I-
with him as a linebackers coach.
Yeah, I would take Seth Joyner on the coaching staff in general, sure. But as a defensive coordinator, I question it a little bit
This was a
because
question last week.
he's never coached before.
This
They,
is a
they don't
question.
want someone like him on the coaching.
I don't
staff,
think so
man,
either because
they'll-
he'll tell Jeff and Howie to
he'll
hit
tell
the
them to
road.
pound sand.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
this was a question last week.
Go ahead.
Do you think there's a leadership on this team?
Well,
A lack of leadership.
Yeah.
I listened in when you said that, and I think there is. I think there's guys that they look to in the locker room that can get the attention of other players.
Do you think there's a coach out there?
Yeah, there's always a coach out there that can lead a team. That's what you look
but
for.
like, what I'm saying is, like, Doug was not a leader, probably.
Doug was a leader. He
Yeah,
won a
Doug-
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Fire. I don't get. I know you're not hating on Doug, but people really hated on Doug this year, and I understand it.
He deserved it. this
I
year.
understand. He absolutely deserved it. But to hate his career in a way, I don't understand that. To think that he should have been fired this year, I don't agree with it.
He won a Super
Mhm.
Bowl. How many division titles did they win?
One. Well,
Two.
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 The Super Bowl
And-
year and last
And
year.
went to the playoffs
three out of the
five.
5 years.
5 years
that
he
he
was
was
here.
here. Yeah. I don't where else. What other coach in the league gets fired after that stretch? 3 out of 5 years you make the playoffs and you win a Super Bowl. You have one really bad year.
Which is why he probably should have came back. And the other thing we've been hearing about Doug is a lot of the moves he made was to get himself fired. I don't
No,
know.
because
I don't know why you would
I
want to
don't
get yourself
see.
fired
I disagree
from
with that.
one of only 32
I disagree with
positions
that.
in the country.
Doug knew this
in the
team,
world.
this season was over. He knew it. So that's why he tanked in that last week. He absolutely knew what he was doing.
Yeah, but towards the end of the season, some of the
They
moves
tanked.
that he made,
They tanked
the last game or two or the last 5 games.
last game or two because the last 5 games they were still in a playoff chase.
Yeah, but I've heard that earlier in the season he was making moves to get himself fired.
Like what though?
Just whatever, like bringing in Hurts as opposed to Wentz. Keep sticking with Wentz.
But that was late
Wentz
in the year.
sucked.
Yeah, you had to make a change.
Yeah.
Is that a fireable offense because you made
No.
a team, tried to make the team better? It didn't
No.
work out.
You brought in Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that
Not in for a whole game.
I don't think that wasn't even the straw that broke the camel's back.
I think the straw that broke the camel's back was more along the lines of the different philosophical differences on which way they wanted to take the team. And I think when you look at the 2 meetings that they had before he was let go, I really do think that this was a mutual parting of ways. I don't think that this was Laurie
Mhm.
telling him, firing him. I think it was, hey, I disagree. I want to leave. Laurie said, fine, we'll let you leave. We disagree. And it was mutual. I don't think this was a firing at all.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that too because you look at the reports that came out earlier in the season, right around Thanksgiving week, I think it was, where before the season started, somebody asked Doug, "Hey, if you get fired after this year or down the road, are you okay with it?" And Doug said, "Yeah, I'd be happy. I'd be fine with that." I mean, that says
Yeah.
it right there.
Yeah.
Doug, I don't think that Doug didn't like it here. I just think he just got tired of it.
Mhm.
All the constant pressure from the media and the front office, and then the fans on top of that all.
Yeah,
I
but
think
he-
it just got
he
to him.
played here for a number of years, and he
But he was
had
a
to
backup.
he had to understand, but he still saw what
Yeah, but you don't get that heat
Donovan
and
was going
pressure.
through.
You don't get that as a backup.
but you still
yeah,
see it.
but it's different.
And you, when you come in with the head coaching job, you understand, okay, this is what this town is like. I've seen it, I've experienced it. I know what I'm getting myself into.
I think it was that, and also he just got tired of Jeff and Howie. I think he was just tired of taking orders. He couldn't have any control over the team because Howie's supposedly making the personnel calls,
Which is ridiculous.
and I just think he got and when that whole thing where he didn't want to bring in an offensive coordinator,
Yeah.
I think that's Doug telling them, "Look, I want to do this my way,"
Yeah.
and Jeff and Howie saw it differently.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think eventually it just kept, tumbling and breaking away, and it just got out of hand.
Yeah. Ryan Smitty, his take is Doug was tired of the BS and he was looking to get out.
Yeah, and I think it, like Bob said, it was mutual.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think
that-
that's the most.
I don't think they came out and said you're fired.
No.
It was like a mutual agreement. Like, you know what? Let's just call
I
it.
would have been fine with them moving on to offensive coordinator and bringing in a head
You
coach.
can't demote a head
No,
coach.
you can't do that. Not in the same.
Not in
the
the
same
NFL.
No, you can't do it in the same organization.
Yeah,
Head coaches have gone on to become
right.
coordinators.
Yeah, like
elsewhere,
Jason Garrett did
but
with
not. Yeah, but you can't
But,
do
like,
that on the same organization.
Do you think it would have been a good head coach here?
Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
They won a Super
No,
Bowl.
I mean offensive coordinator. No.
Yeah, he was in Kansas City. He made Alex
Yeah.
Smith relevant again.
Mm.
I think wherever Doug goes, he'll be fine, and I'll be rooting for him.
Yeah,
as
I'll-
much.
yeah,
I think all of Philly
yes,
will,
I would definitely be rooting for.
but you
Doug.
won't root for Andy.
No, I won't root for Andy.
It boggles me. I don't understand it.
You're not rooting for. I'm kind of rooting for. What, head coach of Buffalo. Skip my mind.
Oh, Sean McDermott.
Sean
I like
yeah.
McDermott too.
It's a little hard for me to root for Sean McDermott.
Because he sucked here as an Eagle.
No, no, it's because of where he went to high school and where I went to high
Oh
school.
my God, he had to get it in.
A local guy. I forgot about that.
LaSalle versus the Prep.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big LaSalle guy, and I'm not even.
There you
in the
go.
whole- I'm not. Nah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not a big LaSalle guy either.
I have a history. I have a story I could tell you a little later about LaSalle students.
Is it show appropriate?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually has to do with sports. I mean,
We're all ears. I'm always
All right,
down for a
when
good
there was this when I used
story.
to play roller hockey. Real quick, we used to go. There's a couple rinks in the area. There's one in Horsham. There's one in North Wales, and they're actually nice rinks. Like you go out on a Saturday morning, skip class, go play hockey. Kind of weird, but
Skip class.
kind of weird. But the rink is like right down the street from the high school. But I mean, long story short, these guys one time, my buddy was skating with a few of the people we play with. The whole crew wasn't there. Well, they like picked on him. They played and they basically beat the crap out of him. And like his face was all messed up. So then we're like, all right, fine. He went back and we're like, what happened? You see him the next day in school. And he's like, oh yeah, these LaSalle kids, those LaSalle kids that usually play there, they beat me up. So then we went down there the next day and I was like, yeah, what's up? Like now we're running like 15 people deep. They got like 10 guys, and we're like, yeah, let's play. So we got our licks in. Needless to say, the cops were called.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
They called the cops on us, and the cops like, well, what do you want me to do? Like,
The little Sal kids called the cops on
They
you?
called the cops on
Wow.
not on me per se.
No, I mean,
but
like your group,
us,
yeah.
because we were just checking them all over the court. Yeah.
So they're getting their asses kicked. So in a game of hockey, so they call the cops.
Yes.
That
They
is the
got-
definition
they
of
were
preppy
They were
kids.
getting checked into the fence. Like we were rough.
I would expect nothing less of preppy kids.
Sorry, man. That's
Excuse
why
me?
I don't like LaSalle.
Excuse me.
I would expect nothing.
I don't have anything.
You're
against-
different. It's a different era, though.
But LaSalle's. That's why I'm not a big LaSalle.
Hey,
guy.
that's a good reason to not
I-
be a fan.
I guarantee you, nobody from LaSalle can say this. I'm gonna guess close to half my class.
Did you see what Jim said?
Yeah, they pay someone else to fight for them.
Hence the
I'm-
cops.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to guess that close to half of my class was from South Philly.
Yeah.
And I was one of 6 that went from my parish in Southwest Philly.
Mhm.
So there's no chance in hell that would have happened to my class. Anyway, I can't speak for the rest of the
Well, look.
the rest of the
Well,
prep.
look where the
But
locations
my
are.
class, that would have never
The,
happened.
the preps in North Philly.
that doesn't mean
Yeah,
anything.
it's the LaSalle's
Yes, it
in
does.
the suburbs.
right.
In was it Cheltenham?
No,
Springfield?
is it-
Springfield.
Yeah, Springfield.
Okay.
Springfield, Montco.
Yeah, Montgomery. So I mean that the city versus suburbs
Yeah.
type.
Always got to root for the city boy.
17th and Gerard versus wherever they're fleeced at.
Yeah. All right, that's our first derailment.
Yeah. So
For the tonight's
there's a little more
show.
to it, but I didn't want to go into the whole thing. So,
Gotcha.
Now,
but
Jimmy's,
Eagles. Sorry.
Jimmy's
about that.
trying to claim that half my class danced with Betty White.
Hey, I dance with Betty White.
I would dance with Betty
Are you
White.
kidding
That's a
me?
story to tell.
She's a legend.
Yeah, of course. She just celebrated her
Probably 100th
90th,
birthday. Yeah.
95th birthday, I think it was. She said she
90. I bet you it's
95th.
more than that.
I think it was
Yeah,
95th.
I'll look it up
She,
right now.
she said she celebrated with pizza and wine or something like
Happy
that.
birthday to B White.
Happy birthday to the GOAT, Betty White. All right. What time we got? Wow. Did we cover the Eagles and then I got a little proposition.
What's
Are they
that?
tanking? Is it rebuild mode?
Yeah.
You think? Do you
I-
rebuild with Carson? And is the next head coach temporary or is it
I
for the
think
future?
I think that they're going to sell you on a hybrid type of thing. If that's the case, and they bring someone in who, but I'll tell you what. Here's another question too. Do you bring someone in? Are you done working with Carson Wentz?
That's the
meaning
thing.
meaning his developmental stuff. Are you done with that? Do you bring someone in, or do you bring someone in that kind of the heck with Carson Wentz? I'm bringing someone in for the
Right.
betterment of the
If
organization.
if this team and front office commits to Carson and goes into a rebuild, it could be the dumbest front office move in the history of the NFL or maybe sports. Forget the franchise. Because why are you going to invest all of your chips into one guy where one of the seasons it was crap, which was this year, past season, and then go directly into a rebuild? It makes no sense. If you're going to invest in this guy, build around him, which they failed to do already.
I don't
Mhm.
think they can though. They're
That's
like
the-
70
that's what I'm
million over the
saying. That's what I'm
cap.
saying. If you're going to go into a rebuild with this guy, you're making the wrong move. It's the dumbest move you can make because then you're screwing yourself even more.
Yeah.
You're
agree.
wasting not only his career but your own time. If you want to rebuild, you trade Wentz, you trade Ertz, maybe you trade Fletcher Cox, you trade all your guys that are aging that still have value, you trade them immediately, and you get any value you can get back, and you get to save up money in your cap space, and then you go into your rebuild with Hurts.
So Ryan Smitty is even he seemed to be under the impression. Look at their history of coaches. They win quickly. They draft Devontae Smith, Chase. Let's roll. NFC East is trash. We'll always be it. I don't know about that. I don't think
I don't
it's going to be trash.
I don't think the NFC East is trash next year.
No,
I agree.
I
I
tend
think
to agree.
Washington is for real with that
Mhm.
defense. Terry McLaurin's hurt, but he's still playing really well.
Saquon Barkley's coming back.
Saquon Barkley comes back. Daniel Jones gets another year under himself. Dak Prescott probably comes back. That Cowboys offense is good again. They just need to fill up that defense. I don't think the NFC East is trash next year at all.
No, somebody, at least one team will rise up to the top with a winning record.
Jimmy,
I'm
I
not
think-
saying a wild card is going to come out of the East, but at least one team is going to have a winning record.
I agree.
I
with
think
that.
it's a wild card.
I think I think
Really?
There's no
you think they have a repeat season, the whole division?
no, but like there's no way that the NFC East like is that good.
Next year,
Yeah.
I think Washington's good again. I think Dallas
don't.
healthy again will be good. And
Dallas will, but Washington won't.
Yeah, they will.
No,
That
they
defense is top 10, dude.
But what's their
Yeah,
offense?
that's
The offense stinks, but they're also banged up. They didn't have Alex Smith.
yeah.
I'll
They're-
tell you what. I think the offense for Dallas, if they have Dak Prescott the first game, we lose that game.
Absolutely.
Ben DiNucci.
Ben
Absolutely.
DiNucci. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Did I cut you off, Deke?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's okay if you did. That's all right.
No.
Score update 72-56 Sixers.
72-56. Oh, damn.
Who they playing?
The
Heat.
Heat. I took the
Oh,
Heat
that's right.
plus
Yeah,
10 and a half.
Uh-oh.
They better cover.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well. All right. Back to the situation at hand.
Jimmy thinks the East is a toss-up again next year.
I don't think they have another crappy season.
I do.
They're just. I still think there's good parts to these teams, though.
What's the Eagles' schedule next year?
It's not out yet, but they play the AFC West and the fourth place schedule. Toughest games they'll have is the Chiefs. I think they play the Packers again. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I know they go out to Vegas. Me and my friends are talking about going out there.
Mhm.
That would be a fun trip.
Ryan Smitty thinks the Eagles win the division in 2 years.
Wow.
That depends on if they draft well.
This
Yeah.
off season will depend on
Everything.
It's one of the biggest off seasons they've had in years, probably since the Super Bowl
All right,
year.
here's a question: Who brings the next championship to the city?
We're not there yet. I don't
Yeah,
know.
let's not
let's-
go there
I don't
yet.
know if we're there yet. It's not the Eagles, that's for sure.
I think
No.
potentially the Flyers.
That's
Yeah.
what
In
I
2
think.
years.
Me and Jimmy had a bet on this
3
a
years.
couple
2 to
shows
3
ago.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think
Yep.
I gave him the field and he gave me the Flyers.
Yep.
Yeah, I think yeah. Anyway, I'll finish this with this before we go into break. If they go into a rebuild with Wentz, it's the dumbest thing they can do.
It
The
is.
dumbest thing they can do.
They have
Absolutely
they have
is.
too much money invested in that position.
If
to
they go
a
into the rebuild with
And the
him-
whole team.
If they go into the rebuild with him without trading
Ertz.
Ertz, Fletcher Cox, maybe you even take offers for Brandon Brooks or Lane Johnson. As much as it hurts,
Or Dallas.
if you want to
If-
rebuild,
if-
you trade everything you
if-
have of value right now.
if they trade everything of value right now,
Plus Slay.
it's going to be
Nah, you keep Slay.
3 years probably before they are above water again.
Maybe that's what it takes.
Because you, first of all, are we trusting Howie to make those picks? All
No.
those
Nope.
picks?
No, nobody does.
no, nobody does. Second of
I
all,
don't think Howie
it
even
takes
does.
it takes a couple years for those picks to bear fruit.
Oh yeah,
You know, they don't just blossom right
Yeah.
away.
Is there
You might get one or two here and there to blossom right away, but in general, it takes a long time for a draft class to come together and make hay.
Here's what I fear happens. You have Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith available at 6. And they go completely off the board.
and they don't take them. Either one, whoever's there,
yeah.
that could very well happen.
I or they trade down, they do something
or they
stupid
trade out
with
of it. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, you want to see a city that'll they'll be marching to the link.
Yeah, they'll march to Nova carrying the link.
Yes.
Oh man,
will be the next U.S. Capitol?
yeah, maybe
Jay Fogg wants to know if we can get a pick that plays right away.
Devontae
it would be
Smith.
nice.
It would be nice.
It would be nice. We'll see. They got a huge off season.
Howie's gonna mess up this pick.
Coming
Mark
up.
my word.
But
and-
what is his philosophy? Let me ask you this. He
Yeah.
picks these projects all the time.
Yes, yes.
But who taught him that philosophy?
I don't know
His
because
dumbass
he,
self.
he did it with Jordan Mailata. Then he does it now with Hertz in the QB factory, quote
Yeah.
unquote. You know, I don't understand it. I really
Yeah,
don't.
when
You
did we
want
become a QB
you
factory?
want the talent to come in now and produce now. If you're in this win now mode that they always say they're in,
I want veterans and people that are gonna win now, not rebuild.
well, you still need young talent too.
yeah, but
The Eagles are what? I think they're still the second oldest roster in the NFL or one of
Yeah.
the
Probably.
oldest.
who's the
Probably.
oldest?
Either us or it was the Patriots last year. I think it's us or
Saints.
maybe the Saints. Yeah, they got a couple older guys there. But you have an old roster. You need to bring in young talent, and you have
Yeah.
the 6th overall pick in the draft. You can't miss on it. No matter who's there. If your guy isn't there, okay, you take the next best available or the next
I
best,
honestly,
biggest need.
I'm sorry. I don't want a wide receiver the first round. I want that cornerback from.
Certain.
Certain.
Yeah, I would be happy with him.
I'd be fine with him.
Micah
Look,
Parsons.
Because
I don't know if I want a linebacker.
I don't know at
know
six.
how he's not drafting a linebacker.
Well, I don't know if I want a linebacker at 6 though.
The Bengals might take him. I see mock drafts of them taking him.
Yeah, I mean it all depends who's there, you know.
I also see mock drafts of Zach Wilson going second overall or 3rd.
Mhm.
See, I'm not a fan of mock drafts.
Yeah, because
But-
they never
Yeah.
they're never right.
They're never.
It's like
exactly.
fantasy football projections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They usually get the top pick right, and then the rest it's
But
like
Yeah.
Well, for example, I saw the other day that someone had the Eagles either trading down or drafting the quarterback
Which
from
one-
North Dakota State.
mhm. Trey Lance,
It wouldn't shock me
Lance
if they
Trey,
do
whatever
that.
his name is.
I'm going to
If
be
they do
mad
that.
if they draft.
They're
a
not
quarterback.
taking another quarterback.
No, if he trades down,
Depends on who they're getting.
he's gonna trade down.
If
You know
it's
that.
if it's to trade down to get Devontae Smith,
What-
that's,
if Devontae Smith that is there at 6, take him.
he probably won't be there at 6. Did you see the playoffs, the national championship? The dude's the best college receiver probably ever.
All right, but
Nah,
Dude.
look at his numbers.
Who?
Devontae Smith,
Yeah.
his career, 3 years there, 4 years, however
okay.
long he's been there.
sorry.
But
No, it's 4.
Mawson and Rice put up some fantastic numbers
In college?
too. Yeah.
All right,
I think they trade back.
I do
Yeah.
too. I'm scared of that because if
God.
you listen to that press conference,
Ugh.
Lori came out and said
I
we're
know.
looking to
I
accumulate
know.
picks.
Yes, and that means trade back.
Right, and that means rebuild.
But
Yeah.
I'd rather take a wide receiver when you can, because Jamar Chase is gonna be there.
Look, the NFL has shown that you can take wide receivers and running backs anywhere in the draft,
Yeah.
not
come
not
to-
us.
But these
but you can't miss on these guys.
Right.
John
can't-
Hi-
right.
John
Smith
Hightower.
is once in
You can't
once in
miss on
10
guys like
years.
Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep going.
JJ. I think on Whiteside.
Yeah.
I don't think they take a receiver though.
It depends.
Do
on
they
who's
go
there.
offensive line? Do they go
'Cause-
from that kid
No.
from Oregon,
No,
the big dude from Oregon?
They-
no.
Both of those big names could be gone before they pick.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Smith is probably
Oh.
gone.
Yeah.
If the Jets,
Jim
if
thinks he might go one.
who? Jim, stop it. Are you serious?
Jason Fox says Howie grabs special teams Jemmets.
The next
They like
Chris
his
Marigold.
upside speed. They like this upside speed and
Yeah.
football IQ.
right.
That's what it's going to come
He's
out.
got a great catch radius.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Before we break, real quick, I got to back up to my boy Johnny Bow, fellow prep graduate or
Oh, man.
classmate, even of mine. In answer to your question, Andrew, about the next city champion,
Ah.
Union.
Yo,
KD, part owner, bringing a title back to the Union.
4 major sports.
All right, let's go into a break.
Yep, let's do that. We got to pour some more pops.
You do. You do.
You do.
We ready?
Yeah.
All right.
InsurePhilly.com. We comparison shop all the time. Can I get this cheaper on Amazon? What will the store brand save me? Should I get a second estimate on this remodel? So why not do that for your insurance needs? Better yet, why not have someone comparison shop for you? At InsurePhilly.com, you can get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes with top insurance carriers like Progressive, Travelers, Nationwide, Selective, Liberty Mutual, Encompass, Kemper, and Berkshire Hathaway. Owner agent Matt Maloney provides top national carriers with top local service. Just go to InsurePhilly.com to get your quote online or call Matt at 215-300-9590. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, business, and Medicare insurance plans, make sure to go to InsurePhilly.com today or call 215-300-9590. Matt Maloney gives you the national carriers you recognize from a local company you can trust. InsurePhilly.com.
All right. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, thank you. We just got done our Eagles talk and the Doug Peterson debacle and front office debacle. That could be a show in itself with
Yeah.
all that.
On the Sixers.
Yeah, we can go into that. Sixers playing the Heat tonight. We just had a score update not too long ago. What is it now? All right, you're slow on there.
Come on, Natalie.
Yo, no, just for that, I'm not answering.
Nah, come on, dude. You got to contribute here.
It's at halftime, 73-58.
Ooh. Well, at least they're winning. My parlay won't hit, but at least they're winning. What's more valuable? It's just
A
money.
win.
It's just money, you know? It's only money. All right, Sixers. The COVID BS. That Gumby body looking Adam Silver making the Sixers play with 7 guys and making Mike Scott, who was on the injury report, suit up to play 2 games.
Freaking nerd.
What is that? And then they go and postpone all the rest of these games
Yeah.
that have COVID
That
problems.
dude can
The-
kiss my you know what.
The only thing I can think,
They hate the process.
well, they hate. Yes, I think it's retribution for the process. 100%, because maybe even to this day, the NHL has a thing
Oh,
about
Run the
the
NBA.
Flyers from the Broad Street Bullies. But for the first
I think it's just because everyone hates Philly.
15 years after the end of the Broad Street Bullies era, the NHL just was brutal to the Flyers in different things, different ways. I believe definitely it is retribution for the process, and I also think that the only other thing is I think the other teams just couldn't suit up 8 players
No, they
to play.
definitely.
Well, the Heat are in the same situation right now, and they're making them play.
yeah.
But I think they have 8 healthy
Players.
rostered players.
The
That's
S-
why
I
they're
think
playing.
The Suns,
Yeah,
the
because
Suns got postponed.
The Suns have been postponed left and right last week. Wizards got postponed. Celtics, they got postponed. But
We need to check the rosters for those games where did they have 8 players.
But
that could
see, the
suit
thing
up.
is, it could impact them. It probably won't 2 games early in the season, but it could still impact their record at the end of the year.
Absolutely. It
Which
was
is
2
what
games that we
pisses
lost.
us off.
Yes.
Pisses
And,
off the fan base.
How many times do seedings come down to a game or
Yes. And when you look back on it, how bad is it for the NBA that you made one of your top markets in the league
2? Mhm.
with a big fan base and ratings?
2 stars.
Yes. No, more than you had Embiid out, Ben Simmons out.
Well, I mean,
Carey, Tobias.
I thought you were going in a different direction. I was saying they have 2 stars that they punished.
Yes, yeah. But it just is mind-boggling that they would go ahead and make the Sixers play and then go and postpone these other games that are
Mhm.
in the same situation.
Mhm.
There's no other way around it than
No.
that they just don't like what the Sixers did.
Mm-mm. And the guy that created it and brought it to reality hasn't been here in what, 5-6 years?
Yeah.
Sam
and,
Hinkie?
and Silver wasn't even the commissioner when it first started. Wasn't David Stern still the commissioner? Did he come in 09?
No, I don't know. I
Anyway,
don't know.
it's just mind-boggling that they would go ahead and approve them to play these games with 7 healthy rostered players and make Mike Scott suit up, who's on the injury report.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
What are you
can't
gonna
play
do
'em.
about it?
I'm just pissed off. It's because it cost us 2 games. The Sixers are 6-0, I think, with all their starters.
And they are 5th, I think, in the league.
Conspiracy. Maybe they just don't want us to win.
Maybe
Gotta be
5th in the
punished for the
league.
process.
because that's what I'm saying. Like, how bad does that look on the league that the team was able to tank for so long and now they're winning?
Ryan Smitty said that. I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
My bad. Give you credit, Ryan.
Yeah. But no, that makes sense too, because that's bad look. That's a bad look for the league that, tanking works, which it does.
Obviously.
Yeah. And it's just a bad look for the league. That's why.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that years ago, before they did the what do you call it, draft lottery, Houston tanked and they tanked 2 years in a row.
They got Watson.
No, they got Akeem Olajuwon and somebody
Rockets.
else.
Not the
Oh,
Texans.
They got Akeem Olajuwon and somebody else. I forget who it was. and that's how they ended up with the two big stars that they had. So and then they created the lottery to stop teams
Yes.
from tanking,
And it only made it worse.
and then the Sixers created a new way to tank.
Yeah, it only
and
made it
do what
worse.
they did.
See, the thing is, tanking has been around for years, longer before the process was
Yeah.
ever
Oh, yeah.
considered or talked about.
Yes.
The Sixers just made it obvious,
Mhm.
like really obvious.
Winning 10 games a season.
Yeah. Well, like whoever, I forget who said it, Maxi's a stud,
Yeah.
and this roster,
Absolutely.
when it's healthy and not on a COVID list, does look good.
Mhm.
And yesterday, the NBA blew up with the James Harden news.
Yeah.
So James Harden goes to the Nets
And
And
there's
te-
another big name in
and
there.
teams up with Kyrie and Katie. I'm getting there, Andrew. I'm getting there. We
See
got
that, man? You got to talk faster
I
because
know.
he's gonna-
Apparently, yeah.
I'm
So
telling
then-
you, man.
These other big names, you got Karis LeVert to the Pacers.
There you go.
Victor Oladipo from the Pacers goes to the Rockets,
There you go.
and Jared Allen, who's a good name, he's a good player and a relatively sort of big name if you follow the game, goes to the Cavs for pretty much nothing, just a future pick. So the Cavs made out pretty well, and I think the Rockets might have won this trade because if you look at it,
No.
they get Victor Oladipo, who replaces the role,
and a lot of first round picks. too.
and they got the farm from Brooklyn.
yeah.
And what did they give up? An aging.
Fat James Harden.
He's thick with two C's.
Yeah.
He's thick, enjoying his gentlemen's clubs and all that.
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, Houston might have won out on this trade.
They now have 2 stud point guards.
Yeah, if
Af-
John Wall stays healthy, Oladipo stays healthy, they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Getting 4 once. How can you say Houston didn't win out on
Yeah.
this trade?
I mean, Brooklyn
They
gave
did
up
lose
a
two-
ton.
They
Yeah.
did lose a lot
And a ton of role players. LeVert is a good player.
He is.
He's not talked about enough. He's a very good player.
a role player, not a starter.
No, he started there, I believe.
But he
if
can-
not, he's a
a
sixth
role-
man off the bench.
Yeah, he's a role player.
He's
like
a
Lou
very good
Williams.
player. Yes.
Best move the Sixers did not make.
Yes.
I agree.
I was
I
very
agree.
happy that we
Yeah.
pulled out.
I was very happy
That's
that
what
they
he
didn't
said.
trade him. Shut up.
Shut up. Dude, you really had this.
No, but I mean, you're right, Bob. It's a very good move that the Sixers did not push the button on that.
Well, now there's reports coming out that Maxey was not in talk.
The
trade.
ones I saw was Matisse, Maxey, Ben,
I saw
and first rounders.
I saw Matisse, Ben, and then a first rounder.
There's always
Yeah,
gonna be
there's-
room.
Yeah.
But if those are true, then I'm just very happy that the Sixers
Yeah,
didn't go
pulled
with
out.
that.
Good.
I'm okay
Matisse
with
and
giving
Ro-
up Ben and Matisse, but
Maxey, no.
Ben and Maxey, I think Maxey's going to be a really
Yeah.
good player.
Yeah.
He's shown flashes. He shows you everything you want in a
He
guard.
might. I'm not trying to say anything. He might be the next AI.
No, he's
But
not the next
Smart
guy.
is skipping
Yeah.
practice.
No, he is not.
Chill on that second there.
This is who you're giving your game
Hey, man,
balls
you
to.
can point,
and-
that's one flaw in a matter of many shows. So look, I stand by it.
All right. No, he is not the next AI, but he is a very good. He has potential to be a very good player.
Yeah.
For this team
Yeah.
down the road.
AI is probably.
I don't
in
think
my-
there ever is another.
I think
AI.
he's a tad underrated too, but I also think that you'll never see an Iverson again.
He changed the
No.
game.
He was all of 5'11" and a half,
6 foot.
about 165 pounds soaking wet, and he was fearless.
Chim say kick Andrew out right now. No, I think we're all very high on Maxey. I mean, and the
Yeah,
fact that
Maxey,
he
and he-
fell to 21.
I know, and he was bringing the ball up last
Yeah.
night too.
Yeah, and then you got
in crunch minutes, this
Mhm.
dude's handling the ball.
Mhm.
That I don't know if that says a lot for.
and he hit the clutch
for
three,
Doc.
the deep three.
Yeah,
And was it overtime or
Yeah.
fourth?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
With the tie it up or go ahead one. And then you got Embiid playing at an MVP level, which is why I think there was so much talks around the Harden trade because Embiid's playing the best he's ever played.
He's
And you
number
don't-
one of
and you-
MVP candidate.
Yeah, and you don't know how long you're going to get that. So this is why you go all in and why you go get Harden.
I think Doc Rivers.
No, I'm talking about yesterday.
yeah,
why there was so
but,
much
like-
talks about it. But yeah, I think that's why there was so much hype about it. But I just think I honestly think this roster is good enough to maybe not get to the finals, but at least to
Eastern
be
Conference.
to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and be competitive,
I think they can
which
make it
would
to the
be a
finals.
successful season
I think they can
considering
make it
where
to the
we've come
finals.
from. I think they can get to the finals too.
Yeah, this roster, they could.
Brook-
This roster could
Brooklyn-
easily beat these
Brooklyn-
three in Brooklyn.
That team who on Brooklyn is guarding Embiid? DeAndre
No-
Jordan?
Nobody.
Nobody.
But think about it this way: Harden does not play defense, and he's gonna have to guard who? Danny Green or
He'll probably
Kyrie.
he'll probably be on Danny Green.
That
KD,
means-
KD will be on Ben.
All right,
Yeah.
and then Max, he's gonna be.
Well, it depends-
Kyrie's
this-
not even there.
Harden might be on I don't know. See, that's the thing. Brooklyn has matchup problems on
Yeah.
defense. I mean, they look great on paper and it'll probably look really good.
I don't think it is.
But come playoff time when the defense matters,
There's too many, not ball hogs, but too many egos around that.
now they're bogs.
They're-
That's
yeah,
exactly what they are.
yeah. It's not gonna work.
And Kyrie, he hasn't shown up in a week to their facilities
That's
or talked to them.
Baffling his
So,
situation.
I think that's another reason why
Stephen
they
A.
made
Smith.
the move.
How are they not fining him or withholding
Well,
pay?
I'm sure they've been in talks, but he hasn't shown up to
Stephen A.
anything.
Smith said he should retire. Kyrie,
Yeah,
I
saw
don't
it.
agree with
I,
that.
I saw
Yeah.
that too. Yes.
he should retire today. He said, announce it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Kyrie's in it. I just think his head's clearly out of it.
Yeah,
He just doesn't think basketball is important to him right now,
which is
and
very-
that's a
Yeah.
personal decision.
yes.
I mean,
They made a family issues going on. That
yeah, he might have personal issues going on, whether it be himself, family,
Family.
friends. That's on him. But
COVID.
but it looks bad right now for the Nets
Yeah,
because he's kind of out of control. They don't
not
know what
our
to do.
problem. Their
Yeah, I
problem.
know, but
And now, if the Nets don't, what do we consider successful for the Nets after this move? Making the Eastern
they're
Conference
all in.
Finals?
No, they got to go to the
Or
finals.
Yeah, they
have
have
to
to
go.
go
to
They
the
have
finals.
to go to the finals.
Finals.
When you
Now-
make that move, you have to go to the finals.
Yes, and are they going to beat whoever comes out from the West?
No,
It'll be the Lakers.
or Clippers.
It'll-
or
It will not be the
it'll-
Clippers.
Suns look good.
It will not be the Suns. It'll be the Lakers. But-
Are they going to beat the Lakers?
no,
Nah. I
No.
don't. I think it'll go. I think it would go 6 or 7 games.
Yeah. So now,
See, that's another
Okay,
thing.
so-
Who's guarding AD?
so well,
me.
just stick with me here for a
Yeah.
second. So now you finish this year, didn't win. Harden comes back next year. God knows what kind of shape he's going to be in, and he's another year
that
older.
New York nightlife too.
Yes, yes, and maybe the COVID won't be what it is
Yeah,
now, and he'll be allowed out more.
Yeah.
And he's another year older.
Oh, speaking of Harden,
So
I heard there's reports coming out that he'd rather play here than Brooklyn.
Well, that was
It's too late now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
that
just
was
saying.
all during the trade process.
So, I mean, is this and then so the window of opportunity, I believe, with Harden is only 3 years
Maximum.
K-
at max,
And
3 years.
Kevin Durant only signed 2 years, 3 years there with a player option too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. So now you got 1 year in the books with no win. So you got 2 years
What
left to
about
win
Kyrie?
with this guy, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't win, and Harden, I don't think is going to be able to maintain his level, especially if he keeps coming in
No.
50 pounds overweight
See, he's still
and aging.
he's still a great player. He's
He-
still a
he
top 5
is.
player.
He
Okay,
is.
yeah, but he's going to be at the end of this. He's going to be what 30?
No, he's 31 right now.
He's 31 now. Okay,
I
so
give him max 35, and then he tops out.
yeah, you're not going to get more than 4 years out of this guy at the level that he's playing at right now.
And he literally has the biggest ego. All he does is ball hog.
When you look at it, Katie and Durant when they were in OKC, Durant left because he couldn't handle Russ and Harden together, and they couldn't get over the hump.
And then also that's why the Rockets never.
And when
succeeded.
Russ and Harden played
Right.
again together in Houston, they couldn't play. They were just
Two big egos.
Yeah.
So everywhere they go, they're just
They need to be the face of the franchise. They can't play with team.
Right.
With other
They had-
superstars.
no. I because
Yes.
Harden and Chris Paul almost beat that Warriors team. They should have beat the Warriors that Game 7 in Western Conference Finals. It can
Well,
work. It can work.
But will KD give up the ball? And Harden? Probably not.
Harden won't.
No,
KD,
no.
KD might.
Kyrie won't. Kyrie will just take it to the net.
Kyrie will. Kyrie will.
Yeah, he's
Do
the
you
point
think-
guard. That's
Yeah.
what he's supposed to do.
Do you think so?
Who knows if Kyrie even comes back?
Yeah.
That's
He's got to
another
come back to
question.
the team
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. Answer that question when he comes back.
Yeah.
I want to be honest. I think it was the worst move the Nets ever made. That was so stupid. what they
No,
did.
the worst move they ever made was trading for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce.
But
That
they
blew up
shouldn't
in
have
their
done that.
face.
They just trade away their whole
Dude, it's a
future.
it's a good move
it's
right
a
now.
good move.
It's a
but
win
they-
now, but will it
but-
work out? And if they don't make it to the finals this year, they just blew up in their
They
face.
still got another 2
Yeah.
years though, 3 years.
But what if Harden doesn't want to come back?
They did it to secure. I think they made this move, and so quickly was to secure KD, and
Yeah,
to
but
secure up
What if Harden doesn't want
any
to come
chance
back
that
after
that
this-
bench has too.
What if Harden doesn't want to come back after this year?
He's gonna have to. He's under contract.
He could.
What's the contract up?
I don't know. Probably soon because he just signed an extension with Houston.
No, I
It
don't
was
think
like
he
2
did.
years ago or last year.
Oh yeah, nah,
Yeah.
I thought you meant this year.
No, he signed an
he
extension.
declined it.
I will agree with you this much, Andrew, as far as you're saying it's a bad move for Brooklyn. Giving up what they gave up.
Their
It
whole
is-
future, their
is-
whole
is-
picture,
is
just
bad.
gone.
If they don't get 1 or 2 championships out of this, it's going to set back the franchise
look
5
at,
to 10 years anyway.
I wouldn't have made that move for Harden. I make that move for 3 players:
LeBron.
LeBron, Jordan,
And Wilt,
probably Kevin Durant.
I would say Wilt.
I don't. There wasn't that. Those moves weren't made back for.
Let me
Wilt.
ask you this:
But if Wilt played today, do you think that move would have been
Absolutely.
Yes.
made? Exactly.
if let's just say the rumors I heard were around the same thing, Simmons, Maxey, couple first round picks. You make that trade, so you're giving up essentially. Forget about the picks. I mean, they're gonna hurt no matter what. But giving up Simmons, giving up Maxey, and only getting back Harden,
Right.
does that put this team over
You
the
just
top to
wasted
win
your
a
future.
championship?
No,
Because
no.
I only make this move if that is like the last
yeah,
piece.
yeah, and I think
probably
think
wouldn't
it
make the
wouldn't have.
move.
I think it would have been. I think Harden puts this team into a finals type.
Harden
team.
and Embiid probably could have carried this team, but I'd rather see Maxey stay and Simmons go.
Harden's one of the best. He's probably the greatest ISO
Yeah, but-
scorer in the game right now. Him or KD.
Yeah, or Kyrie.
So that works here in this system, and
I'm
that puts you over the top.
yeah, but
I'm not against trading Simmons.
I'm not either.
I didn't want to. I feel like there's more value.
I
I-
agree. I think there's still
I
more
think-
potential
Sure,
with Ben.
sure,
I
With
think
Harden, you
Ben-
know what he is.
Yeah, I think
you want to hear something crazy?
sure.
Today I was listening to WIP. Spike Eskin was on.
Oh boy.
He said,
Jeez.
This dude
He
gets out,
said-
man.
I came up with 70 players that are not necessarily better than Ben, but who fit the Sixers better than Ben does.
Is Maxey one of
This
them?
year,
No, not on the Sixers.
this
That he would trade Ben for.
this season looks bad right now for Ben. Really bad. Like it looks
But do you
because
think-
it just is weird with him. He doesn't know what it looks like he's
awkward. Like
yeah,
he
he
doesn't know
looks
what to do
he
out
doesn't know
there
what to do. He doesn't know if he should shoot or not.
because he's
like,
not
it's
used to
the
having his
system.
little buddy old pal Brett
Because
Brown.
Doc,
Bingo.
well, yeah,
Bingo.
yeah. It's the Brett Brown thing too. But with Doc's system, he's always had shooters, and now you have shooters again.
Yeah,
And Ben doesn't know how to
But-
work with that.
Right.
because Ben's not used to being coached. He's used to being
No, I don't think that's the problem.
Well,
What was that?
Andrew's on fire.
Oh,
well, Ryan Smitty says, I agree with Andrew with 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation points
Yep. But what do you agree? What is he agreeing with?
I think
about,
with the-
about the Nets not
about the-
making.
and I think it was the
Not
Wilt.
making
I
hay
think it
with
was
the
the Wilt
Harden.
trade.
And Smitty's smart. He's from Hatboro, so I'm from Hatboro.
Oh,
So,
Is
I
he
like
your buddy?
Yeah, actually, I know he chimes in on
'Cause I was-
Devereaux sometimes.
I was one. I know neither one of these, and I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know who that is.
I don't. I know.
Well, thanks.
None of us know.
Thanks for
So I was
checking in.
wondering if he was. Your
Yeah,
buddy.
no, I do. I think Ryan's an excellent contributor when it talks of sports.
Yep,
So.
absolutely.
I've never met him though. That's the weird thing. Like I
Oh,
said,
wow.
I think he's one of Pat Bernard's. friends.
Okay, gotcha.
He's my friend too, but
So
I'm just
he's
saying that's how I know him.
is he on Devereaux Sports?
He chimes in from time to time. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so he doesn't come in studio.
I think Pat is trying to get him in studio.
Okay.
So Ryan, get a hold of Pat, will you?
And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Always appreciate it. But getting back here, I just the bench situations. It's just awkward.
It is.
Right now, yeah, it looks bad. Maybe it pans out with the season continuing on.
I think Doc Simmons and Embiid can carry this team to a championship.
I don't even think Ben needs. I just think Embiid, the way
And
he's playing right now,
he
he's
can,
carrying.
but he needs help.
So
Absolutely.
the last Jim
And
Jim
Carey can too. Carey's playing good this year.
Yeah.
our second string host Jim Marcus is checking in. He's got I'm just messing. So he's saying Harden is the greatest traveling ball hog of all time. I agree with it.
Yeah.
It's the
I
NBA.
don't- I don't-
it's the
he's-
NBA
and,
today.
and he's great at not playing defense and this cherry picking.
He's horrible at defense.
Yeah, but he can. It's just the offensive game is too good not to pass up.
Oh, Ryan Smitty's saying he wants to join this show instead of Pat's.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
we
And
don't
now-
want that. We don't want the. We don't want the controversy.
Jim, I'm just messing around, man. But you do have competition. Andrew's on your coattails here.
Who would have thunk? All right, enough basketball.
Flyers.
Sixers look good. We'll leave it at that. We'll see
They're
how it
third
goes.
in the East.
Third in the East. The Flyers started off
Fifth
their
overall.
season last night against those wimpy birds. And just it was a close game.
And then the steamrolled.
And then the third period happened, and the Flyers just
Oh.
took over, destroyed
Yeah.
them in that late in that third period, which was very good to see. I'm all
loved it.
flyered up on this team this year.
Yeah.
After-
I only had one. I only did not like one thing was when Carter Hart gave the puck right to.
that was a bad
Ryback.
play.
Yeah.
He made one bad play. I'll agree.
Jim's right.
Oh my god,
You still need a pretty face in the
Jim,
room.
I just said,
Jim,
I'll
that's
tell
what
you
I'm
I
here
just said
for.
to him, not you.
That's what I'm here for, Jim. I noticed that we've had a little bit more viewers this week.
Mm,
Is that a coincidence?
mm,
I
don't
think
know.
not.
We were,
Oh, yeah, but you didn't announce that he wasn't going to be here. Maybe they were looking forward
Yeah.
to seeing
Or
Jim.
they,
I don't
or
know.
they knew
I'm
I
just
was coming
saying,
back.
you know?
I don't know.
Did you know that this right now the Flyers head coach is the longest acting head coach, like active head coach
Wow, that's a good.
in Philly.
in Philly right at this point?
Wow, Bob, you may be
Chalk
on to
one up
something
for
with Andrew
Andrew.
here.
I'm
Jeez,
telling you.
Wow.
I
I
am
should say
telling
chalk
you, man.
another one up for
Damn,
Andrew.
Don't
dude.
sleep on Andrew here, man. He's got it.
That was good. That's a good point, Andrew.
I don't even know if I want to pick my winners in the NFL
Right?
this week
Right?
because I know that he's
He's
I'm
going to
telling
shoot
you.
him down in
Just
flames.
ride what he,
Right.
what he picks. All right, so the Flyers, yes, they look really good. And
And-
Schmitty commented here, Farabee, that dude's a
Yeah.
stud.
He was runner up last
4
year.
points last night, and he's
Yeah.
only 19 or 20.
Yeah.
He can't even drink yet legally.
But didn't they get Pat, that dude that they've drafted at the migraines all year? last
Yeah,
year?
Nolan Patrick,
Yeah.
he's
Nolan
back.
Patrick,
He had a
yeah.
goal last
Yeah.
night. They
This
gave
team-
Lindblom the goal.
Yeah,
How awesome was that? Because what a story that dude's had.
yeah,
I mean, they get what did he have? Lymphoma
yeah.
or some form of cancer,
And then neck, right?
and he's
Neck.
back in a year.
Yeah.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
back in a year.
It was less than a
Incredible,
year.
incredible.
he was
yeah,
less
he was
than a year.
practicing.
And he was in the bubble
He
too
was
last year.
practicing last year
He
with
played
the,
it-
bu-
he
with the
played,
bubble. Yeah,
He played last year in the bubble.
he did play in the bubble. That's right, in the Islanders series.
Yep, like game 7 or something. Like
Yeah, I don't.
he had like
Yeah,
maybe
he did.
barely
Right.
any
Yeah,
shifts,
yeah.
but he did play.
But what an incredible story Lindblom's been,
Mhm.
and
And
that's
Carter-
absolutely been a boost. To
and this team is so
Yeah.
young and so good that it's like
That's
incredible.
what I'm saying. The Flyers, they're all young.
Yeah, except
have the
except
right mix.
Voracek and Claude Drew. Which,
They have the right mix of young and veterans.
and Carter Hart's insane. That
And
dude,
Carter Hart's a stud. He made one bad play last night and let up Sidney Crosby's goal. It happens.
yeah, happens to
Can't
the best
expect
of
him to be
us.
perfect every night. But Carter Hart's a stud.
He's only what 20,
Nah, he's 21. I
He's
think.
21.
21.
But that's what the importance
beat his
here
idol
is. They're
last
all
year.
young.
He
They're
beat his
all-
auto yellows.
And I loved what he said coming in before this season. He got asked, like, you see all these guys in the league, the great goaltending.
Yeah,
Does that make you want to be like them?
I'm gonna be my
Do you-
own.
And he came out and said, "No, I want to be my own guy. I want to be my own. I want to be Carter Hart.
Yeah,
I want to be
Yep.
I want to be the best. I don't want to
Yep.
be one. That's what you want out of them.
And I hate when young upcoming players are asked that who do you
Model your game.
who do you want to be?
Yeah.
I don't mind that question,
Yeah.
but when they ask who do you want to be the next whatever, I want to be the next me.
Yeah.
That's who I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to fill somebody else's shoes. That's impossible to do. I can't do that. I want to be the next me. I hate when young players are asked that question because it's an impossible
And-
question to ask.
Elaine,
there's only what two really good goalies in this that
nah,
they ever
there's
had.
pretty. Oh, in the Flyers.
Yeah, franchise.
Hextall, Bernie.
That's about it, right?
Who was the dude that died? Lindbergh. What was his
Kelly
name?
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah,
He was
pretty good.
But there's
But-
not been really stud goalies until Carter
Robert
Hart.
Ash wasn't a stud.
No,
No.
Eli Brizgalov.
There have been
Dude.
three goalies names chanted at Flyers games. Bernie was the first, Pelly was the second, Hextall was the third.
and it's about to be Carter Hart. Let me tell you that one.
If it hasn't
Mark
already.
my words.
I think Carter Hart is going to be the fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're a goalie and you get your name chanted at home in Philly, that's an honor and a huge accolade to have that done because it's only happened 3 times.
What I saw last night was when he made a mistake. He turned the puck over to the worst player for the Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate on him, he's going to capitalize on
Yeah,
mistakes
you
like
can't do that.
But I feel like that mental toughness right there is something that I saw. He came back and he had a solid game. I think in Philadelphia with goalies, when you make a mistake like that, you turn around and you get pulled or you just end
Yeah.
up having a bad game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What I saw from that kid, and you know what? I'll be honest with you. The team seemed to rally around
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
mistake, and it was like, okay,
That little fire
he
on
owns
him.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really do. And I think when you can beat the Pittsburgh Penguins, although I think they've taken a step back, I
Yeah,
think
they're not the
still
Penguins
not
they
dangerous.
were.
the Penguins that they used to.
They're
be.
still dangerous.
Anytime you beat them, though. Is,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's kudos to them, and
yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that I see with the Flyers going in before last night's game was that they needed a top 4 defenseman
Mhm.
and they needed a sniper. But now, like after watching last night, it's only one game. We can get excited about Joel Farabee. I love the excitement. I love
And
the enthusiasm.
Oscar.
But there's a lot of young kids,
Yeah.
Yep.
and I think that they are in the best place out of any team in the league
Besides
because the
the
cap's
Lightning.
not going up. So you're not going to be able to acquire these assets at the deadline like you usually
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. I think that I think that they're well prepared for this season with these prospects.
I think the only
they're
threat they should be afraid of is the Lightning.
good. Well, yeah, I mean
They're still
Yeah.
good. The Canadians are good.
Yeah.
Islanders, the Lightning.
yeah. I think the Flyers need to be patient with their youth
Yeah.
and let them
Don't
let
rush
them
it.
develop.
That's
Yeah.
what's been a problem
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Your sniper
it
might
has
be
been.
in there. Morgan Frost, Joel Farabee,
And
Bobby Brink from
did Moran play last night?
no.
More and
So
Moran.
isn't there
He's on
only
the
like
taxi
two like
squad, I
older
think.
like
Yeah.
two veteran not like older players on this team?
Who?
Aren't there only two like older players?
Well, you
on
have
this team?
Voracek. He's young. He's
But-
in his prime right now.
Yeah, I'm talking about like,
Voracek,
Claude and-
Claude Couturier is still there. But
I
there was
forgot
talk-
about him to be honest.
yeah, there was talks about with Matt Niskanen retiring, and they had to move on from some other guys, which you always have to do.
Yeah.
How is the defense going to look? But I think it was all right last
Ivan
night.
Provorov.
Provorov's really good.
Yeah.
Ghost he's on the COVID list. But you have this young talent and this young core group of guys that you can just take with you for years,
And a good coach.
and a good coach, which got a little bit of questioning when he was hired because there was when his other job, where was he? The Rangers before he came here, or somewhere wherever he became before here. he wasn't able to coach up the young guys they had there.
Yeah.
So that was what they were skeptical of. But he's been doing a really good job
Yeah.
here. I mean,
Yeah.
last year, his first year here, go to the semis. I mean, it's a good run and 7 games.
And I think another
And come
knock
back
on
from a
him
3-1.
was that he was a good, solid coach, but he couldn't bring a team over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's only, last year was just his first year, and they
I
they
would-
looked great.
I would love to see him get a long run here with this young team and go on a run where year after year they're right there.
Yeah, they're
and,
contenders.
and yeah, and hopefully he can get
And it
them
was-
over the top.
it was-
I think he can do that too.
Yeah, it was said last night on the broadcast. The color guy, I think it was who was it? Olszek? Is that the dude's name? I forget who the color guy was. But
Eddie Olczyk.
yeah, I think it was him. I might be wrong though. It was either him or Boucher.
Well, one thing I don't like is when Pierre Maguire starts talking good about the Flyers.
Yes.
And I hate
that-
when he starts
that's
talking
what they
good
were
about our
talking-
goalie. Leave our goalie out of your mouth.
That's what
The
they were
name out
talking
of your
about.
mouth.
They were because he said something about the Flyers looking
Yes.
good, and then Boucher or whoever the color guy was like, I don't know why people are questioned to say that this team is a good team because the Flyers are a good team. I don't know why people are so hesitant to say that, but that's what he was saying. This Flyers team is for real. They are a good team, and I think and I agree.
I think they might go to the finals this year.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
You
No.
don't think
Yeah.
so?
You don't think so?
I don't think they're
They're
there
just
yet.
too young.
Still too young.
I think they're right there where, if you were to ask me, like, hey, Bob, who's your dark horse this year? I think they fall in that
Yeah.
category.
Yeah. That's a good description.
But next,
But you were talking about elite. Like,
five-
when you talk about elite, like Andrew, you mentioned Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is going to be there.
Yeah.
Tampa
When you
Bay,
mentioned the Philadelphia
Washington.
Flyers right now, are they going to? I mean,
they're in the
people
talks,
are like, well, let me
but I don't
see.
know if they're definite.
Exactly. They're not that over
Yeah.
the top.
Maybe
Maybe
next-
next year's where they
what
do it.
3
what
years.
they do? They went second round last year, right?
Semis.
Yes.
The 7 games. They came back 3-1 against the Islanders.
Right.
And I think you're right. The Lightning are going to be there. The Islanders are going to be there.
Are
The
you talking
Bruins
about
will
the
probably be
East?
there.
Are you talking about the East? Like
Yeah.
a general.
It's only the way the schedule's set up this year. You
You
play your
play- yeah,
division
yeah.
and then like your top region, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's what. So it'll be
The West-
Montreal,
yeah.
Islanders, Rangers, Bruins,
same
Capitals,
same teams, but
Penguins.
yeah.
But there is a wild card with all this. They have a
Yes.
full roster.
Yeah.
Nolan Patrick's back.
yeah.
Lindblom's back.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think that an underrating signing was Eric Gustafsson. I think he's a decent defenseman. I just feel like they need they need a bottom 6 forwards who can check, who can forecheck, who can get into the zone.
and they need speed too.
I think
They
they
got
have
this
speed.
Walton's, Farabee's quick.
TK's quick. but
Konechny's quick. And that line looked great last night. Konechny, Hayes, and Farabee.
Absolutely.
They're a good line.
Both of yours, Uncle Steve says they can because of the coach.
Yeah, in which they haven't had in a while.
Right.
The
And
last time they had this was Laviolette.
yeah.
Hackstall didn't have this team gelling like this.
No. Oh God, that guy was a mistake from the first game.
Yeah.
Not to disrespect him or degrade him, but yeah,
Yeah.
dude should have stayed in college.
Yep.
Well, actually, one thing I missed here, it seems like people are they were rattling off like goalies.
Yeah.
who were
Yeah.
good in
was-
the city.
yeah.
It was
That was tongue in cheek.
Sean
Yeah,
Burke.
They were
Garceau.
being funny with
Yeah,
that.
I know that. I mean, are there any other in my lifetime? It's Pelly Lindbergh, Ron Hextall.
My lifetime, I've been screwed.
Yeah,
I've
I know you
gotten
got
Robert
royally
Esch.
screwed.
Robert Esch, Brizgalov.
Yeah,
Bobrovsky wasn't bad.
I think the top 2.
They traded
Yeah, and then
the
he panned
best
out to be a
prospect
good.
that they had. Yes.
Yeah, Bobrovsky.
Yes.
Mark LaForest.
The thing that always bothered me when Bobby Clark was the GM of the team was he played with one of the top goalies of all time in Bernie Perrant.
Mm-hmm.
So he understood that you needed a top goalie to win. And he never went about trying to get that top goalie either through free agency or the draft. He brought in, guy after guy, old veteran after old veteran at the end of their career, on the backside of their career, and they were never good enough to get us where they were trying to go because they were past their prime, like by at least 5 years past their prime. And they never, I mean, they would draft a goalie here and there, but they never went after a top goalie in the draft to get them over the top. And I never understood that because Bob Clark played with Bernie, and he's one of the best goalies ever. I never understood that.
Well, you forget the in-betweeners like Tommy Soderstrom and Dominic Roussel.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, I think Dominic Roussel was actually eyed as possibly one of the, going to be their franchise goalie. Him and Maxime Olay. I knew there was Maxime Olay, and I was trying to think of the other one, and it was Dominic Roussel. I think those two were drafted with the intention of them becoming the franchise goalie, and it never panned out.
And
Typical drafting team of Philadelphia. Maxime Olay gets traded for Adam Oates.
Right.
Doesn't amount to nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what this team finally broke away from with bringing back former players, the Flyers, that being. They brought back, like you said, Bobby Clark as GM. Ron Hextall didn't work out. Paul Holmgren wasn't a player, but he didn't work out. Now they get in Chuck Fletcher, who looks to be making the right moves, and it's working for them.
I think Ron Hextall, man, in the mid '90s when they were good, they had one line.
It was Lindros.
It was Lindros, Leclerc, Renberg. It was that top line. I think if they could have done more with the second line and kind of, that's what bothered me about that time. You were like right there. And I agree with Deke that they just underestimated the goalie position. And Bobby Clark should have realized, playing with one of the best goalies of all time, he should have went after Curtis Joseph instead of Van Beesbrook.
Because Cujo. Because if the Flyers don't have Bernie Perrant,
they don't have Stanley
they don't
Cups.
win Stanley Cups.
No.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
As great as those teams were, if they don't have Bernie, they don't win Stanley Cups.
Especially against Boston. I mean that he like stonewalled them. They,
Yes. I mean, he won the cup on the last game was a shutout. And they only scored one goal.
I know this because I watched the documentary. I wasn't there.
I know this because I watched it on TV live.
So I'm just saying, I agree with you 100%. And it just seems like I think that was one of the biggest frustrations with the Boston Bruins. They couldn't score. Only the Lord saves more than Bernie Perrant.
Yep.
All right.
Man, this Flyer talk is getting the comments coming in left and right. They're flying in. I can't keep up with them.
People are excited about them.
Yes, they are. I agree.
Right now, I think the Flyers are more promising than the Sixers.
Yeah, and the Eagles. And the
obviously.
And the Phillies.
Obviously. All right. Well, we mentioned earlier in the show the Phillies signed Archie Bradley to a 1-year deal, $6 million, which is a good move for the bullpen, which they desperately need.
We have no relief. They're about their sixth inning. That lead that we have,
it's gone.
Definitely gone. If not already gone.
Yeah. So obviously they need to shape up that bullpen. Still no talks.
Our starting line is starting pitchers.
They're not bad. They still got Wheeler. You have Nola, who's still they're
really not like terrible, but
last year of Arrieta, contract year for Arrieta. So we'll see what happens there.
JT Realmuto.
That's what I was going to say next. There's still no talks with. Well, I mean, there's probably talks, but nothing concrete with Realmuto yet.
Yep.
If they're bringing him back, which is still.
If I'm Bryce, I'm pissed off.
Yeah, obviously, I'm sure he is.
I'm going to whoever
Middleton.
Yeah, talking his ear off.
Yeah, obviously, Bryce, I'm sure is in talks with that. And wow, but yeah, not much really more on the Phillies. They report in about a month.
Give us a Sixers.
Pitchers and catchers. They're up 20. End of the third.
Wow.
78-58. That plus 10.5
Joe White
not
says
looking good.
They have 98 after 3.
I thought it was 78-58 I read.
They were 78 like halftime, dude.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
it's 98-78. That's what it was. Sorry.
I say.
Sorry, Jesus. All right. Ooh, should we get into these playoff predictions?
Yeah.
Before we head out.
Yeah.
Sure. Are we done with our Phillies talk? Because
I
Joe
mean,
Joe White says Arrieta's gone.
Is he?
I don't know if that's like
Is he?
written.
I
in
thought he was still
stone,
under
but
a contract.
no,
It's 1 year.
Last year was
Thank
it.
God.
Yeah.
That's why I said thank
Oh,
God.
sorry. All right.
And Embiid is not scoring. Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they got 98 points and Embiid's not scoring.
Wow.
Damn.
Well, that's encouraging. Not for my parlay though. I got it. I had him at like 20 points, I think, which was an alternate points. Anyway, NFL playoffs, divisional weekend, some good games too.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens at.
Saturday, the first game of the weekend, 4:35. We got the Rams at the Packers. The spread is 6.5 for the Packers,
Yeah.
minus 6.5.
Okay,
Whoever
I'll
wants to
start
go
off.
first.
I'll
Whoever
start
wants to go
off.
first.
Bob, do you want to start off?
I'm afraid to start off.
We'll go.
You know what the funny thing is? I
Counterclockwise.
was going to take the Browns. And I'm like, dude, they don't even have their head coach there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they
look
just
what
dropped
they
a
did.
freaking 48 on that
Yeah, but-
defense.
50,
Boom.
53,
Pitts-
wasn't it?
Pittsburgh gave a lot of points up. Pittsburgh helped them out a lot.
So did Cleveland, though.
Chase
Cleveland-
Claypool.
Cleveland
I already-
didn't
I
stop
already-
him.
If they
I
don't
already-
have those defensive touchdowns, they lose
Yeah.
that
Did you
game.
see what
Yeah.
Chase Claypool said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that dude.
I think a lot of people do.
That
A
dude
lot of
is,
people are. The Steelers are a very hateable team now, even more.
Yeah.
With
I
the
hate.
players
I
they
used
have.
to like Juju. Juju's a complete idiot.
Yeah. Anyway, get back to the game.
Yeah.
Rams, Packers.
Big Ben's overrated.
All right.
Rams or Packers?
You done? You done with the Steelers hate?
Nah,
Rams or Packers?
Rams.
Rams.
That defense is taking him to the Super Bowl. Mark my words.
Yeah, but we heard on the way up Donald might not play.
Aaron Donald's gonna play. Come on.
Yeah.
I agree he is, but you never know.
He says Rams.
Yeah.
You want me to go? I think the Packers offense is just as good as the Rams defense is. I just think Aaron
I think
Rodgers is
Jay-
playing at a too high of a level. Yes, Jim, he's playing at a MVP type level, and I think the Packers are too good. They just
Ramsey's gonna shut down Adams
We'll
like
see.
you've never seen before.
We'll
Mark
see.
my words.
we'll see. Every time he says something, he has to say, "Mark my words."
Yep.
We'll see.
All right,
I like to.
next-
Hey, look, I marked his words last week, so I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, man. You might come back. You might come back next week and say, you know what?
So
I'm not messing with him
Yeah.
anymore.
we're going. It looks like we're going youngest to oldest. So you're next, Bob.
Because I'm that young.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
You're the
you're
third.
young. You're
third
younger
youngest.
than me. Does that matter for anything?
What do you think, Andrew?
He already
I
said
said Rams.
Rams.
Yeah.
And
I'm
DJ said Packers.
I'm going with whatever Andrew says. No. I'm going. You know what? I thought the Rams defense showed up,
Yeah,
and I think people forget, including myself, how good that
They're
defense
probably
is.
the best defense left in the league.
I'm going Rams
like
this
I said.
weekend.
Defense wins championships.
Yes, offense wins games.
Yep.
And I'm going Rams.
All right,
Well,
2 for the Rams, 1 for the Packers.
Smitty does have a good point. No way LA is winning in that frigid weather. Sorry, Andrew. Not because of that. I just want to tweak Jimmy a little bit and tell him that his boy Aaron's going to have a hell of a game and beat those Rams. So
All right.
I'm taking Packers.
2-2. Next, the Saturday night game.
Isn't it like Bills Ravens?
You want to do? You want
Let the dude do his job, man.
Ravens Bills. 2.5 points are given to the Ravens in Buffalo. Could be a snowy game too,
Mm.
from what the forecast is telling us.
All right, we'll go oldest to youngest.
And
this
I
time.
love snow football.
I do too.
Wow. Stop the presses. Jimmy just said Aaron is winning a Super Bowl this year.
Oh,
Holy!
let me highlight that comment. I'm
I'm-
sitting here looking at you guys. Damn.
I'm glad we're all sitting down.
Put 'em on the-
I think I
yeah.
need another shot of pops for that. Smitty says Tom Brady isn't losing to the same team 3 times in a season.
Yes, he is.
I tend to agree.
We're
with
on
that.
the Ravens Bills.
Yeah,
We'll get to
dude,
them.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm thinking New England still.
You got to have a mallet.
I
in there.
gotta
know,
go.
right?
I gotta go with Buffalo in this. I think they're a team that's on a roll. I don't want to say a team of destiny. I just think they're a team on a roll right now. And I like the way Josh Allen is playing. I like the way their whole team is playing, and I like the way that kid from LaSalle is coaching them up.
Ooh.
Really
How'd
said that?
taste
Wait,
coming
did you
out?
just say you liked LaSalle?
No,
No, no, no,
he said
roundabout way.
LaSalle.
No, I said I like how that kid from LaSalle is coaching.
Don't
them
worry,
up.
we'll
I
get
don't
to
like
the-
anything from LaSalle, so I'm just saying. I agree with you.
we
Deke. I
learned that
agree with you,
earlier.
Deke.
I don't either.
We'll get to the guy that's from the Prep. Don't worry.
All
We'll
right.
get- we'll
Kevin
get to his
Can't
name.
go
Stefanski.
wrong with a prep guy.
All right.
You got Bills or Ravens?
Andrew, what are you going with?
Bills.
Yeah, I'm going with Bills.
Wow.
No, I really am. I'm going with Bills. I like the Bills in this game. Hard to go against them after what they did
Yeah.
last week. I mean, it was a close game against the
Yeah.
Colts.
I
The Colts
think
have a nice
Allen-
defense, though.
The Colts
Yeah.
played
Did.
really good.
Yeah,
They
they
did.
really did. They you look at all the numbers other than the score, and the Bills kind of outplayed them.
Yeah. And I said last week, I commented, I think that's the
And-
game of the weekend.
And,
And it
uh,
was.
the Colts had
Maybe not.
the last
Browns,
possession.
Steelers.
they had the chance to win.
Yeah,
the game.
Yeah, they did.
And Rivers, something happened. It was like a weird play. But
Well,
yeah,
the last play of the game was the chuck into the.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Couldn't even
Allen and
reach the end
Diggs
zone.
is unstoppable.
Yeah, I just think they're too good. I agree. I think the
Mhm.
Bills win.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
just think they're too good.
You can
Okay.
put whoever you want,
And
and
they
Allen
got,
will still find a way to get him.
they got a
touchdowns.
good running back tandem, and they got a solid.
The Ravens are
offensive line.
such a questionable team each week too. You don't.
Yeah.
You never
they need,
know
they need
which
a
team's
they
going to
need
show
a
up.
vaccine because they literally can't control the COVID
If
thing.
you
Yeah.
can shut down the quarterback,
If
you
you
got them.
Lamar can't do anything
Lamar
but run.
Lamar is a very good running back. I will
Plays
say
quarterback.
I will always say that about him.
Yeah.
I think he can throw the ball, but if you need him to throw the ball to make you win,
It's not
I
happening.
don't think it's going to happen.
Right, and that's why you gotta cover. You stay in your lane, make them stay in the pocket, and make them throw. the
Can we
ball.
say one thing? The
Go
Ravens
ahead.
defense held Derrick Henry under 150 yards.
They did. They
Mm.
did. The Ravens defense showed up.
Good point.
We'll see what happens this week.
Excellent
though.
point.
All right. Sunday slate of games. The first game at 3:00.
Uh-oh.
Those Brownies versus the Chiefs. 10 points spread too.
Hey,
For
can,
who?
can I just
Wow.
The
I
Chiefs.
I don't mean to change the subject here, but I think you have Smitty and Jim going at it. I think there's a Super Bowl prediction here. You have Jim going Green Bay,
Bay.
Ryan Smitty going Buffalo.
Yep.
Could that be?
It
Could the
it
Browns
could.
beat?
Wait, you're going to say the Browns are going to beat
No,
the
I said
Chiefs?
could they? I didn't make my prediction yet. I'm waiting on
Okay.
Andrew's.
All right.
you know who I'm taking. So
Because then
stop.
that sets up the Bills and Browns for the AFC
Yes.
Championship.
and
Yeah.
that might, and it's gonna be. The,
I
I think the Bills go to the Super Bowl this year.
all right,
This
we'll get there. Let's
Yeah,
get to the
I'm sorry. I'm
one
rushing.
week at a
That's
time,
my-
one
let's
game
get
at a
this-
time.
Chiefs and the Browns.
He knows that I got to get my pick in. That's why he's rushing.
I'll go. I'll start. I think the Chiefs are just. I think Mahomes is too good.
That offense is really
Their
good.
offense is just too
I don't
good.
think that.
And I think the defense makes enough plays where
I
they
don't-
win the game.
I don't think that Browns defense is all that. They
Eh.
definitely had help from the Ben.
Yeah, but dude, they had that whole COVID situation last week.
Mm.
Mm.
I just
I know who I'm going for.
I just think the Chiefs. I just think the Chiefs are too good. I think Mahomes is too
Yeah,
good.
I think
Although they looked bad at the end of the year.
Yeah,
the Browns were
They-
the
there
Browns
is-
were so fired up to
Yes.
beat the Steelers.
Yes.
They were full of emotion. The Steelers gave them gift after gift, and I think the Browns did their thing last week, and it's going to be a huge letdown this week.
I don't think it's a letdown.
I don't think it
An
is.
emotional letdown. Yes, it is.
No,
You think it's like a
not.
blowout?
You think it's gonna be like
I
30
don't
nothing
know
by
if it's-
halftime, like
I
it was
don't-
in their
I don't
game?
know if it's going to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be a big emotional letdown. you got to understand in football, you focus. It's like the Eagles way back in the day. Their entire focus was the Dallas Cowboys. Everything was focused on beating for Dick Vermeil. Everything was focused on beating the Dallas Cowboys. When they beat the Dallas Cowboys in that NFC Championship game, I hate to say it, but I don't know if they had a shot to beat Oakland in the Super Bowl. And I hate to say that because, of course, I wanted the Eagles to win and all that. But after they had that emotional letdown of beating the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, that was their Super Bowl. And I want to say that Cleveland's Super Bowl was beating Pittsburgh. And everything, they're playing with house money. They're playing on borrowed time. And everything from here on out is just pure gravy. And I don't know if they can bring it back up and ramp it back up emotionally. And football is based on a lot of
I don't
emotion.
think Andy Reid is the type of coach to win 2 Super Bowls back to back.
Well, we're going to find that one out.
Yeah, let's just pick your winner.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. As much as I hate to go against the guy from the prep, because you can't go wrong with a prep guy.
Oh my gosh.
We have an astronaut deke, that's what I want to say.
Or a space cadet, as I like to say.
Yeah. Go ahead, Andrew.
I hate picking against a prep guy.
Did you
but
go?
I said the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs.
Did you
I
go?
think the Chiefs are going to win.
Everyone.
He's waiting for you.
He's waiting over me.
Yeah, he's established this.
Ah.
No, I'll go
Because
because this is a pick that I don't want it to. And I really thought that they were going to win, but I mean, Andrew, that was like, I'm not even thinking about it now because he went with them. Listen, I am going with the fact that the Cleveland Browns have a good running game.
Yeah.
They heat up the clock,
Win them the game.
and
yes.
sometimes Andy Reid doesn't have the proper clock management.
Yup. Yeah.
So I can see this in a very close one coming down to the final. I'm taking the Browns.
Oh,
yes,
sir. Browns did it. Browns and the Bills.
Let me. Yeah, absolutely.
I would love that.
I took my pick before I did Andrew. So if we're on the same page. We're on the same page.
I think the Browns Bills AFC Championship game would be awesome.
That would be a good
I think America
Yes.
wants that.
My heart is with you, but my head says otherwise.
Well, there's
I
no
don't-
money on the line, so I'm going with the Browns.
I don't think Andy Reid is a good enough coach to win 2 Super Bowls in a row, or lead them to the Super Bowl at least.
Well, he's been to multiple Super Bowls.
Well, can he lead them back to back to a Super Bowl?
I don't know.
It doesn't.
We'll see.
You could have whoever the hell you want.
All right, make your pick then.
Browns.
Oh,
Wow. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Lakers going to the Super Bowl.
Oh my
Damn.
goodness.
Smitty says Browns winning outright.
Yeah.
I think the Browns are a good team, but I just think
I do too.
I just think the Chiefs are just too much.
Yes, and I
No.
think they have.
That's
too
not
much-
true.
there's the emotion is not there for the Browns this week.
I think it is. You always get hyped up for it. I just think
about it this way.
Mahomes is just
Think
too
about it
good.
this way. They had no practice last week, right?
Who, the Browns? Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
What?
No,
No,
it was
they-
all. What do you call
They
it?
closed down the facility
Virtual,
for the day, wasn't it? To
No,
clean
I
it
thought
out.
it was the whole week.
No, I think
They was the
I
whole
think
week they didn't
Andrew
have
might be
practice, and they
right.
put up a 50 spot on the Steelers
Alright.
defense.
All right, you're hype on the Browns. I got you.
You're not gonna.
I dig it. You're digging the prep guy. I got you.
Yeah.
Andrew.
No, I'm thinking Baker, not him.
All right, last game of the weekend. It's going to be on the History Channel, I believe. It was talked about as a joke.
Yeah.
The Bucks and the Saints. Brady versus Breeze.
He gets the commentator for that game.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Jim's coming at me, man.
Yeah,
he's
is.
coming at me.
Yeah, he is.
All right, Bucks Saints in New Orleans. Bucks are +3. I'm a little surprised by that.
I don't like that. Nope. I think Alvin Kamara's a career game like he did against on Christmas.
So you're taking the Saints?
What was the regular season between these two?
I think they split.
No, they didn't.
No, the Saints won both.
Saints won.
Saints
both.
won.
Saints
Wow.
destroyed them on Monday night. I remember that in
Yeah.
Tampa, and then they beat them again.
That was early in the season.
yeah.
No. Week 1 was New Orleans. Week 1.
Well, let me ask you something about the Saints. Like, where's Drew Brees at?
I that's what I've been wondering too, because their offense is still good, But like it's like Drew Brees is like quietly just
Michael Thomas isn't
Yeah,
there. It
it's
just seems out
weird.
of sync.
it's just Alvin Kamara.
Yes,
It's weird.
Yes.
That's
But
what I
it's
need.
working. It's
And-
working.
And it's funny. You can see the arm strength with Breeze just isn't there anymore. Like he doesn't throw 40, 50 yards
Yeah.
downfield.
And
You know?
That's why they have Michael Thomas. Run slants across the middle.
well, that's why I think he's going to retire after this year. And why
Along,
the
and that's
talks.
why.
Michael
Super-
Thomas or Drew Brees?
No, Drew Brees.
Okay.
And that's probably why the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl.
Just pick the winner.
Can we get one game at a time?
Come on, man.
Already said the Saints.
All right, he's got the Saints.
He's right because he's picking them to win the Super Bowl.
All right, this is a toss up.
It is.
Man,
It's-
this is something.
Is it a revenge game? Is it
it's-
I
it's
don't
a
think-
revenge game for Brady.
Even
It's
though
so
Tom
hard.
has all those weapons, I don't think he can get the job done.
Is Evans playing? That's still up in the air.
Yeah, but he has all those weapons, man. But
Well,
he
he-
doesn't do a good job of
Using
using
them.
them. Using
Yeah.
them.
He
It's
has
been
two started
wishy-washy.
running backs he doesn't use.
Nah, they're not studs.
They're-
Fournette and Ronald Jones are not studs.
That they can.
They're capable of a running game, but they just don't use them.
Yeah, but
I don't think
Mike-
they use them the
Mike-
right way. I
Mike-
think they
Yeah,
can
yeah.
be studs.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Evans,
Mike Evans
where
and Chris.
he's off and on
Mike,
every week.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown could be the best wide receiving core in the league.
Yeah.
Rob
But they're so
Gronkowski,
hit or
They're,
miss.
they're the best
Gronk.
threesome.
Gronk.
Antonio Brown, that dude's a clown.
He's a great football player, though.
Yeah.
He's a clown though.
That's fun.
Rob is.
That guy's an ogre, Gronkowski.
Oh, he's a monster.
He's-
Yeah,
I'm gonna be an analyst for Fox News. It's a football. Like what?
That was pretty good.
You sound jealous there, Bob.
he
I
said-
do
Did-
not
did you
like
know that-
him or
Did he almost
Brady.
get traded to the Lions?
Yeah, there was that rumor that he put out there. Well, not a rumor, I guess, if he confirmed
Yeah,
it.
and he said you can't trade me. I'm retired.
Yeah. So you're going Saints, Bob, then?
Absolutely not. I am gonna go Bucks.
All that?
I am sorry,
All
Bob,
that.
Andrew. I'm
I
sorry. I
hate
got it.
Tom Brady. and Rob
I
Gronkowski.
don't like
Now I'm
him.
going Bucks.
Yeah, I gotta go Bucks.
I don't think their head coach is that good. I think it's all Brady.
Was
that
that
makes the shots. I really do.
Well, that's been his whole career. I mean,
Belichick.
I think
Definitely
I
controlled
think Arians is like because I think he's like a
He doesn't know what to do.
an old school football guy, and then you have Brady who comes in. The last couple weeks, the last 2 or 3 weeks of the last 2 weeks of the season into the playoffs, they've actually played pretty good.
Yeah.
So
but
I that secondary, like Smitty
played
said, for the
Washington-
Saints
they-
isn't
they-
great.
they played Washington last week and almost lost.
Yeah, I just
I'm not phased by them. I don't think they can pull it out.
I think it's close, but I think Bucks win.
I'm with Bob. I think the Bucks are just the offense. Saints defense is good, but I think the Bucks just have too many weapons, and I think the Bucks win.
If he uses them right.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
think about it last time. The Saints defense stoned them.
yeah. The Saints defense, the first time they played, shut them out.
And second
I
time,
think they shut them out.
second time was even worse.
This dude I know, I went to school with him. I'm not really. I mean, he's a good guy, I guess. He's like friends with Gronkowski.
Oh,
And he's
really?
like,
That's
yo, you
cool.
should come on his yacht. I was like, I don't want to step 1 foot on that guy's yacht. I don't really care. He's like, oh well, you could fish off the top. I'm like, yo, I got a boat in the back of my parents' backyard
Yeah.
that I can go. As a motor, runs fine. I don't need to listen to that guy for 12 hours.
Probably get some good
I'm like,
stories.
This
though.
is a football and it's flying through the air. It was a 50-yard. I don't know.
Get him on
Not
the
a
show.
big fan.
Remember
Rob
seeing
on
the
the-
Wolf of Wall Street on the yacht? That could be you.
The fun coupons.
I'm here, man.
No, not that scene. The party scene.
Okay.
That's fine.
Nah.
So,
Zach?
so I should take the invite to get on his yacht.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be a story to
I
tell.
would. If I wasn't married, damn right I
All right.
All right, dude. Just throw that one out there.
Hey,
But is
Mom.
Tom Brady coming? Because I don't really wear my Eagles jersey. That's
is-
what I'm going
if-
to
would.
do.
Is he
Giselle
bringing
coming?
Giselle? Is he bringing Giselle?
Wow.
That's all I
Oh
want to know.
man, that's,
I would definitely flirt with her. I'm not even going to
Oh,
lie.
absolutely.
you might take with it a
Okay,
draw
that's
man.
not my thing to go. That's not my thing to go after Mary. But I mean, how am I going to pass that
Dude,
up?
hell
on,
yeah,
Giselle.
I'm
You
flirting
might
with
catch a
Giselle.
you might
would.
catch the fist to the jaw, but it's worth it.
I'll be like, yo, hon, I make $9 an hour.
Yo, she makes more money than Tom does, so you
Yes.
could say that. Be like, hey, look.
That's why I refer to him as Mrs. Bunchen.
Yeah.
I
Or
pay less.
Mr. Bunchen.
I pay less in taxes. I'm just saying.
There you go.
God.
That's in your favor.
I finished in the top 2%. I'm getting a quarter this year.
I can grow a better beard than Tom
yeah.
does.
yeah.
So who do you got?
All right.
Saints Bucks.
All right. Can I go back to the nah. Finish your pick.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row.
All right. Even
It's
though,
hard. It's hard to bet against Tom
In the playoffs.
yeah, but
in the playoffs.
look what Nick Foles did. You know you
tough,
want to
man.
say.
I get
you
it.
know
It's
you
tough. I
want to
don't
say
like
the
the
Saints.
secondary of the
You
Saints
know you
either.
want to say it.
I
You
know.
know
I
you
don't
want
like
to say the Saints.
No, I'm going to go Tom.
You,
Bucks.
oh man.
So, Packers versus Bucks NFC Championship game.
Did you pick?
Yeah, I picked the Bucks.
Okay.
I'm the only one to go with the Saints.
Yeah.
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 Then we got
That's bad because now I think the Saints are going to freaking win.
and then we
You
got
get the crow again next week, Andrew.
the Bills
Yes.
and Bills and Chiefs AFC Championship game or Bills and Browns.
Bills and Browns. You want to know why the Browns?
Bills versus
No,
Browns is what America wants.
You know why
I
the
agree.
Browns are gonna win? Because last week or so, well, not last week, but like the last couple of weeks of the season, what are the Chiefs won by?
It's been close.
It's less than 6.
Yeah, it's been close.
Listen, man, I wouldn't be
And
surprised.
if the Browns can put up 50, like
They
did
won't put up
against
50 again.
They're not
Yeah.
going to put up 50.
at least 30 or 40, they will win this
no,
game.
no.
Listen,
no,
you
no,
got to,
no.
you have to really pay attention to where some of those points came from.
Exactly.
Came from the
gifts.
defensive side, exactly.
Yes.
But
If they get
Ben
them gifts-
Roethlisberger had a bad game the first couple. The first
Yeah, they
couple.
did.
He had a
series.
terrible game.
The Steelers started 11-0 and finished 1-5.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
is terrible.
Yeah.
And then Chase Claypool tweeted out in the beginning of the year.
I never
losing.
really thought
I
that
never
they
heard of
were
it.
a contender.
I don't think anybody did.
They were in the
They were
pretender.
not. They were not.
All right.
I think the Browns Bills is going to be it.
We'll find out this weekend. Come in next
To be
week,
continued.
and we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Sixers up big. They're gonna roll. They
What's the
win.
score?
Oh, free Frosties. First
Is-
one of the year.
Is it a full roster tonight?
Nah, I think Seth was still out.
He's still out.
Yeah.
Is he back in wherever they were? And is he still up in Brooklyn, or did he come back?
I would think he's home but now.
Doesn't he have to quarantine now? Where-
Yeah, he did, and I think that he did it on his own. Probably was able to go home.
Yeah. We hope.
Yeah.
You never know what that nerd is, the commissioner.
All right. I think that's all. I see the next show is here. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on Twitter.
Ryan says, great show.
Thanks, Ryan.
And I say,
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
It's because of the host.
I think it's
First
because
one, the debut.
Me.
Man.
He said Shake's got 30.
Shake.
I'm sorry, 31.
Damn. All right, Shake.
And at one time, Joe White said
Embiid
Embiid only had 9.
Damn.
Damn.
All right.
Mic drop.
Well, that's good to see.
Mm-hmm.
The Heat aren't a full roster though. Too, so
Jimmy Butler. Well, I don't think he has it. He's not carrying them back to the finals of the playoffs.
well, we'll see.
He's not even playing.
Yeah,
yet,
he's
is
not
he?
playing.
Yeah.
yeah, if he was, he wasn't going
Kind of hard
to.
to do that.
If he was, he wasn't going to.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for all the viewers and listeners. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Thanks to Pops McCain Irish Whiskey and Matt Maloney and MPM Agency. InShortPhilly.com.
Up to 10 quotes in about
10
10
10
minutes.
quotes in 10 minutes.
In about 10 minutes.
He's got you covered.
He's got you covered.
I like the way you said you got that Philly accent, Andrew. Not only is Andrew on the ball with sports, about that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
I'd rather say a boat.
look
but
who he grew up with.
yeah, this Philly guy. I like
Use
it.
guys.
Yeah, I wish I grew up in the suburbs, the lowly suburbs.
We drink water, not water.
Man, I got made
And
fun
we
of
wear
so bad.
We
Did you
wear
say water?
sneakers.
Well, no, because in the Marine Corps they say all kinds of different stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
water, a gallon of liquid. Like I don't know what they say down in North Carolina. Like it's like, and then it's like, yo, I'm gonna call the law on you, and I'm like, you're good. Well, wait, what? Like people from like the inner city. Like I'm not making fun of the inner city at all, but any inner city, they'd be like, you're gonna call the law, like that. There's no number for the law. The police, I got you. I'll leave. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, like I got you. You know what I
You
mean?
guys
You
got
got
it.
experience with that.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling you, I know this stuff. You know.
Oh.
All
All
right.
right.
Catch us here next week.
With hopefully Jim and a full squad.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, maybe Jim will bless us with his presence next week.
Not
No.
bad for your first go around.
Thank you, sir.
Not bad.
Thank you.
A for
Because-
effort.
This is your actual true first
Debut.
hosting, right?
Yeah.
Because your show in Westchester,
J-
you
I did not host in
You
my
did not.
radio show in
That was
Westchester.
our
no.
boy Max. What was his name? Max
Woolman.
Max
Woolman.
Woolman,
Oh,
who liked to
Did you
give
see
the
them
losing
ranks?
score first.
backup QBs and like.
Yeah, he's not
apparent-
playing.
Yeah.
Golf's playing.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
all right. Catch us next week. Be nice to each other. Awesome to each other.
Mhm,
Is that what he says?
mhm.
All right. There you go.
Go
Be
Birds.
excellent to
Be excellent to
Be
each other.
kind.
Yes.
Go
Fine,
Birds.
be excellent. Go
We
Birds.
good?
Yep.
All right.